Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Dennis Herrera Show. Hey, Robert, how are you today? You are the first one in the chat today. Good to see you, my man. Had things to do this morning. Had to drop off one of my kids to school. We had a substitute for the bus, school bus driver, and then I had to get some other stuff ready on here. So, uh, good to be on. We'll see. We have a couple of things to go over. We are going to be talking a little bit on immigration. You know, people like to talk about immigration, but we got other things to cover as well. Good morning, Mr. Happy. Mr. R. Mr. Happy. No suit jacket today. No suit jacket today. We'll give it a moment here, allow people to get in here so that we can get started. What are you doing over there? Huh? All right. Hey, you know what? I started late today, uh, just to see how people respond to the actual time, because I'm actually thinking about changing the time to 9 a.m. Because that seems to be the peak for the views on the show. But I would rather start at 6 or 7 in the morning. We're going to start off with, let me see, what's the first video that we have lined up so that we can talk about. Let me see. Okay. We had the first video is going to be, oh my goodness. Evidence emerges against popular Democratic representative for alleged millions in fraud. Alleged millions in fraud. So that will be the first video, and we'll take a look at that. I will say, guys, there's a couple of things that I'm hearing out there that I am really wondering about with what's happening in our country. We have to stay positive. Prime Minister Chris, good morning. The crackhead has been really. It's too early, Chris. It's too early. It's too early for us to do that today. I am looking into a lot of different news. American Roadrunner, good morning, my MAGA brother. Let's go. Uh, MAGA laugh a lot, y'all crazy. Don't mind our crackhead Chris over here. He is a diehard loyalist Democrat. What's popping, Chris? What's going on the East Coast? Hope you guys are doing all right over there. What's new? What's going on over there? You're up over there with Mandani, aren't you? Or I think you were. No, maybe not. Maybe it's a different one. Serenity, how are you? Good morning, Brian. Let's don't forget to hit that like on your way in, everyone. Oh, that's right. Even I didn't do that. I gotta give myself a like. There we go. All right. Rochester, New York. Yeah, man. Tell me about it. It's getting cold over here in Washington State as well. But I think I think it gets colder over there in New York, where you guys are at. Hey, man, keep me updated with what's going on over there with the prices. Next year with this whole Mandani taking over. We'll see. I mean, I know socialism doesn't work, but I'm very curious to see how he plans on running communism in our country. I'm really curious about it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Good morning, my man in the house. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Yeah, very. I'm about about 2.5 hours, 2.5 from Canada, and you guys are no. I think you're farther from Canada. You're farther from Canada than I am, I think. But yeah, we're pretty close. Chris likes socialism. He likes free stuff from the rich. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want free stuff from the rich? Uh, I can see why that is very tempting and very appetizing to a lot of people, but not for me. I like my independence. Serenity, let's see what's up. What you got? Honest question. What do you think about the documents the Republicans released yesterday on Epstein? Seems like both Clinton and Trump are heavily represented in them. You know what I'm actually concerned about? It's more about this talk about um, people being killed by the Clintons, man. That's above and beyond. You know what I mean? I want to see everything. I don't want to see any redacted names. None of this bullcrap protecting the innocent. No, if everybody is asking for this Epstein files, it needs to be everything. It needs to be released 100%. And of course, the public doesn't really need to know all the names, but you know, we can never really have. Uh, I know, Mr. R. We can never really have uh, an understanding of anything unless everything is released. And as I mentioned to people, we are America first. We're MAGA nation in this chat. I do have a moderator on here. If you step out of line, you will get kicked. You won't get blocked, but you will get put in timeout. Uh, Please make comments on here, not to insult, but to actually make us dialogue, just like Serenity did over there. And I agree, man. It is super crazy. Um, I'm I'm really my moderators are all members on my channel. So I'm very iffy. I know Man and Brian. I got a couple out there that they go crazy on the chat. So we don't we don't really want to block anybody. But as I say, when we're trying to watch our own MAGA things that we want to celebrate, I don't appreciate people starting to talk shit about it. It's just like, hey, listen, I respect your view, I respect where you're coming from, but if we're trying to have a moment, don't come in here and be a party pooper. All right. So Serenity disagrees with me a lot, I think, but the question is legit, and I accept that. Saltwater, how are you? Good to see you this morning. Uh, what do you guys think? Do you guys actually like it when I come on live at 7 a.m. or do you guys like the later time better? I really want to know. I'm trying to see what would be the best schedule. Like for me, to be honest, for me, I rather start at 7. But there's a lot of other shows out there that start at that time, and if people are watching that, I don't want to be cutting into that time as well. Or maybe I'll just have to step it up a couple of notches and take those people out. Even if they're on my team, we got to beat them. No problem, man. Yeah, I know we disagree. Uh-oh, watch out. Brian in the house. That's the other trouble that I was talking about. I got two hardcore moderators, so people better behave. We want to make sure that everybody has a good time, guys. But this chat really is mostly for MAGA people. I made this channel and I started doing this show because I wanted to see if there was more people that think like me out there, that really care about America, about the United States of America. I want to get people in my circle that love this country. We all love migrants. It is unbelievable how many comments I see on my shorts and my videos about how much I hate migrants, which is not true. And that's the thing that I hate about people that do that. It's like, you can say I'm against illegal immigrant, but don't lie and say that I'm against migrants because that's not true. and that's exactly what I mean. You know what I mean? Like if I have people on here, at least be honest. Stop raising false testimonies against me. Don't try to make me look bad because I think it's bullshit. You know, most of the people that will agree with illegal immigration will be Democrats on the leftist side. But if you really love this country, you wouldn't let that happen. New York, you just watch. We'll see what happens next year in New York. Uh, they have no idea what they're in for. Socialism only works when there's a lot of rich people in the area making that money. But once that piggy bank runs out, socialism becomes communism, and then people go after each other's throats. And that's how you build Cuba. If you guys don't know any history about our Latin countries, I understand, but I know the history in our Latin countries, and socialism is not a good thing. The reason for that and is because eventually the person in charge, the person in power, will always turn out to be a communist. That's just the way it works. You know, if everything was ran by a perfect person, which it doesn't, nobody's perfect. The perfect does not exist. And let's be clear about that. Perfect doesn't exist. But when you have a bad leader, especially when they get greedy, they start seeing all these billions of dollars coming in. They think, oh my God, we got $100 billion budget. We have so much to do. Man, New York is a rat hole. New York is so expensive. There is nothing attractive to me from New York. You know, even in Hollywood movies, they can't even fake it. You know, New York has the worst reputation, and the only reason why they have some sort of good reputation, it's because of all the rich and powerful there. Which, by the way, two things is going to happen. One thing is all the good American rich people and big corporations are going to leave New York, and scenario B, Muslim millionaires might move into New York. And that's really how a Trojan horse works. If you can't go against the United States of America because they're too powerful, the best thing you can do is send a Trojan horse. Now, the reason why the Democrats, and this is why I left the Democrats, the reason why the Democrats are failing is because they have allowed this country to be soft and emotional, and they have allowed horrible foods to come in to our lives. They have been giving all this nasty stuff into SNAP beneficiaries and all this welfare, all these handouts that make people lazy. You know, they have the open borders. They have gone politically correct, and they have forgotten what their values are in this country, and they have allowed not just migrants, but we're talking about hateful people. They don't like the United States of America. They don't love the American people. They can care less about the Americans in this country. And the Democrats have allowed these hateful people not only to come into our country, but actually made them citizens to be able to govern our country. That is the dumbest thing that we can do. Number one, there should be not one Muslim in government right now. And we're getting more and more and more. And you're starting to see people on the street that you don't even know who they are. They are just covered from head to toes. How do you know who they are? They can be disguised of anything. Go ahead. You can say what can you say about Muslims right now that are taking over this country? And please tell me that you have heard the speeches that they make about taking over the United States of America. So before anybody says anything, right? I want to know: are you really, really interested, or do you really know what is happening in our country with the Muslim community? And don't tell me that you know Muslims that are very nice. No, you need to learn the religion, not just say that Muslims are nice. Learn the religion so that you can determine if you can trust the religion or not. Because whether you like it or not, what you're having is this. You're having you're having people that believe that the Muslim is a good thing, right? And they don't follow the bad things that the radical Muslims follow, which is Islam at its fullest. These people only read a little bit the Quran. Oh, I feel righteous and holy when I wear this type of clothing, and they don't really understand what the hell they're signing up for. Number one, oh man, I'm not even going to go that way. I'm going to try to change gears on that. What's going to happen is you're going to have all these Muslims all over. Well, we already have them, but we're going to have them multiply even more throughout the United States. And you better listen to this and remember who told you this. Because they are Muslims. The bad Muslims can come in and mix in with them. And you know what's going to happen? Once they're infiltrated all over, there is nothing that infidel Muslims will be able to do against the Muslims. That's right, there's two categories. See, the Muslims that they allowed here in the States, they're infidels. They will kill them. They will destroy them. But in the meantime, they need them to lie to the people, to say Muslim is a good religion. And that's how you start the lie. That's how you start the deceit. It's a Trojan horse. That's exactly what that is. So you infiltrate and use the gullible. You use the ignorant people that don't know any better. I can guarantee you that none of the people that claim to be Muslims have actually studied the Quran of Islam. Because if they did, they would know that Muhammad, their sacred prophet, deflowered a 9-year-old little girl. Now, you guys, if you ever hear leftists that talk about President Donald Trump as a pedophile, they say that without proof. There's no concrete proof. It's only been theories. There's only been talks. People contradict themselves on stories. But there's no proof. And yet, they defend the Muslims. And yet, it is their sacred prophet that deflower a minor. How does that work? Why don't you stand against that? I find it very interesting, right, that people like to come in and insult us and tell us all this stuff, but they don't stand against that. I wonder why. Well, one of the reasons is because they're ignorant. They don't know about that. As a matter of fact, I was going to start this morning with a different video, but let me see if I didn't get rid of it. I hope I didn't. Let me see. No. Come on. Tell me I didn't do it. Son of a gun. I hope I can find it here. Okay, let's see. Call for my notifier, man. Okay. Oh, man, I got some good stories. Okay, we'll do a new one. Let me see. I'm gonna find it. I wasn't gonna start off with this, but I need to find it now that I said that. I don't want you to think that I'm making this up. I want you to hear it for yourself. Let me see. It's gonna be under shorts. No. I hate it how that plays right away. Oh, I know how I'm gonna find it. He was, this guy is actually, he used to be a Muslim, and PBD had him on his podcast, and they were talking about actual Muslims and how people are being lied to. So let me play one short, let's see. There's quite a few. Let me play 3 clips from his the shorts from PBD, and I want you guys to watch this. Let me go ahead and get this.
Real quickly, let me describe.
Hold on, essay. All right, let's go here. And I want you to listen to this.
Islamic last day, because I want to show the audience who don't know Islam how graphic.
Now, he's going to talk about Islamic last day. I want you to know something. In the Bible, in Christianity, angels don't have sex. There is no sex in heaven. That it's all it's something. Spirits don't have sex. We have sex so that we can reproduce. That is the gift to reproduce. This is how we come to life. But there is no sex up in heaven. And listen to this man. This guy is actually very smart. I don't agree on some of the things he says when it comes to religion in Christianity, but that's okay. Let's take a listen.
This is. The last day in Islam means if you pass the test, you will enter Jannah, you'll enter paradise. You have maidens of pleasure, Hur al-Ain. I can give you even a reference, very graphic, chapter 78, 31, 33. It says that they have swelling breasts that don't sag. And the Quran says you'll spend all eternity deflowering them, but you won't harm them. Quran says you will have sex with them, but the hadiths go graphic. You will be deflowering them, but you won't hurt them. They'll return virginal again. So this is the pleasures of paradise. And you're going to have wine, and you're going to have milk, and you're going to have meat and young boys serving you. Youths of perpetual freshness. Now, why the hell do I need a young boy in paradise to serve me? Well, things to make you go, But that's the last day.
What do you think about that? That is crazy.
So
that is crazy. I think he's got 3 clips made from him. Let me see what you guys think about that. Yeah, Mr. R says it's gross. Yeah. Claiming religion is separate from government is just stupid. Well, I mean, we have to separate. We have to separate, I think, a lot of things, especially, that's right, Fly, especially when it comes to laws, right? So we have the law of the land, and this is where the government comes in place. And then we have the moral laws, and this is when the Bible comes in place. So you have to separate them. Yes, the Constitution was written under God. This country was made under God. We know all that. But there is also a difference between governing the land and then following the law of God. It's a big difference on that. So let's see. I won't live in a blue state. It's too depressing. I am in a blue state, but the state, Washington State, is going to get worse. But the state itself, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I'm hoping that we can make a difference in the near future. Let's see. Pino says, Unholy, why do you hate freedom of religion? Nobody said nothing about hating freedom of religion. I think you're missing the point here. Lydia says, yeah, I really think he's out there in another world, but not heaven. Let's see. Okay, you guys are talking about something else. Okay. So here's the next clip.
Clearly, the Jesus of history is not Isa. He did not announce coming Muhammad. So from a Christian perspective, as offensive as it may be, facts are facts. If we all believe the same thing, we'd be the same religion. According to the New Testament, it's going to hurt people. Muhammad is an antichrist. That's the New Testament teaching. Because what is the criteria for an antichrist? 1 John chapter 2, 22 to 23 tells you. Who is the antichrist? He who denies the Father and the Son. Islam says Allah is not a father, and Jesus is definitely not his son. So clear.
You hear that? Thanks for the super chat there, Serge. Democracy is over if Islam comes. Christianity does not control politics, but Islam does. Very, very good point. Very good point. You know why that is? Do you guys know why that is? What Serge says. Do you know why what Serge says is true? Let me tell you one difference between Christianity. This is how Christianity came about for us, okay, for us pagans. witnesses. The apostles, disciples of Christ, they were witnesses of all the things that Jesus Christ did. And this is where the Bible comes from. So you see, if we go back to the Old Testament and the Bible, government was created by God. So God gave the people government because that's what they asked for. And back then was a king. God told them that they would actually be governed over, and they will tell them what to do, and they will blah, 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 and everybody said yes, 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 we want it. So this is the difference. God creates a government for the people so that they can be ruled by the law of the land, but God still expects the people to believe in his commandments. Good morning, Berniel. How are you? And here is the kicker. Islam was a religion that was created by a government 600 years after Christ. And a lot of the literature that they took, a lot of the scriptures that they put in the Quran, is just pieces of the Bible that they have adapted for their own will. And they created the Muslim religion to control the people. And that's not the way it was meant to be. So what Serge says is correct. You will lose your democracy if the Muslims take over the United States of America. And good luck. If you don't know history, man, I wish you go and repeat it. I wish you go and repeat it so that you can pay for your ignorance. Lucky I'm not God. I would have destroyed this world a long time ago. But he's all merciful, and that's why we have to make sure that we control ourselves and our emotions and all that stuff. But that's 100%. Serge is 100% right. And I hope that a lot of more people actually come in to that enlightenment, because it is true. Thank you for the super chat, Berniel. Chairman, real quick, to support the Patriots. I appreciate it. Well, man, you just took the thunder away from everybody, because now Serge was almost the chat boss, but then you came in here and took that away from him. So for my mega Patriots, when you become the stream chat boss, this is what you actually make me do. And this punishes a lot of the people on the left. Hey, Klaus, how are you? Like a boss, el jefe, el patron. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Berniel. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the super chat. For my members that are in here, I am going to work on some better emojis, maybe a little bit bigger. I hope I can make them a little bit bigger so that you can put some more stuff in there. Maybe I'll throw a J.D. Vance in there. I have to go make one. I'll throw a J.D. Vance emoji on there. Maybe I'll make one for the ladies. We'll see if we can get some Melania in there so that the ladies can celebrate when they are in the chat. Tyler, good morning, my friend. How are you? Welcome. Again, guys, this is a MAGA Nation chat. I want Patriots to be in this chat. Everybody else can take off if they want. Here is the another clip from him. And this guy is actually very good. If you haven't watched the PBD podcast, I recommend you do. I haven't watched this full chapter, but I know of him. And, Sam Shamoun He's actually very knowledgeable. I don't agree with everything he says about Christianity, but he is very there. Robert, I believe that she is busy. She homeschools her grandkids, so I think she's busy with that. She will pop in here if she's doing okay. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. And that's what happens with me when it comes to the Bible part. It's I understand exactly what he says on that. Mind you guys, I haven't seen these clips. I understand exactly what he says because that's how I feel about when I read the Bible as well, and it is true. If you really want to learn the Bible and if you really want to understand what it's all about, you have to pray about it. You have to ask God to show you. Um, I didn't want to memorize scriptures. This guy actually memorized some scriptures. I didn't want to memorize scriptures, but I wanted to engrave the stories of the Bible in my heart and my mind. And that's how I read the Bible. So when people come over here and start throwing Bible verses against me, that's why they can't beat me. They just can't beat me. And it's not that I think I'm holier than thou. Of course not. I am weak. I struggle just like any other man, etc. But the truth is that the Bible is given to us as a recipe to live a happy life in this world. Let me see what do we got. Tim Rogers says we only have to look at London, Paris, and Dearborn, Michigan to see the danger. That's right, Tim. And this channel, I've been telling people this a very long time. I've been telling them to look at that, but just a lot of people I know on our side, all the MAGA followers and stuff, we see that happening, but the rest of the left is that they just I don't know, they want to be politically correct all the time. They will never see the truth. Even if it hits them in the face as it does every day. You know who the boss is? It's we the people, not him. Actually, that's not true. He is the boss. President Donald Trump is the boss. And the only reason is because we put him there. So, see, you're not the boss. I'm not the boss. Now, you can be a stream boss in here, but you are not the boss of this country. Let's get that straight. And maybe that's what some people don't understand. When we put a president in office, that is our boss. That is our boss. And as much as you want to say that he's there to serve us, well, he is. But he's your boss. He's your leader, whether you like it or not. That's what voting for him means. It means that we all surrender that he is going to do what he needs to do to make this country better. And well, so far he is. So I will let you guys know if you guys start being disrespectful on here, I will go ahead and kick you out. Okay. So just try to be polite, try to behave, try to be as good as you can. Well, obviously now if God is he's the only real boss. But here on earth, we do have laws and we do have leaders, and that is who their bosses are for us. All right. Let's stay on track. Let me see
Right
if he
after we
has. No, that's it. That's the only one that I wanted to show. All right, so we'll get done with that clip. And we're going to continue, and we're going to start with, you guys probably already heard this story. We're going to go ahead and start with Fox. This is Fox and Friends. Make that big there for you. Now, I haven't watched this clip. So bear with me. We're going to go ahead and take a look at it together, and we'll go ahead and judge. I do not want to hear impeach. That is the dumbest thing that I have heard for the last 8 years, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of hearing that bullshit of impeachment. You guys got to stop with that. Seriously, the impeach got played out. It doesn't have any weight. We don't care. We don't believe you. Even if you're saying something right, you guys cry wolf, wolf, wolf so bad that we just can't believe your lies anymore. We just can't listen to them. So that's where I'm at with that. Stop it with the dumb, stupid impeachment. Yeah, Brian says we got wrenches. That's right, Brian. Go all out. Do me a favor. Anybody that insults the host of this channel or starts throwing insults to anybody, okay, go ahead and get rid of them. Keep the chat clean. I want patriots to be able to express themselves, but not to come over here and start insulting people, okay? Let's see. All right, let's take a look at this video here. And if you guys, if my mods don't know how to do that, I will go ahead and take care of it myself, okay? So here we go.
Los Angeles County is launching an investigation into State Farm's handling of insurance payouts after the devastating Palisades and Eaton fires earlier this year. The probe will focus on violations of California's unfair petition law after fire victims complained about delays, underpayments, and claim denials. State Farm says they are handling over 1,300 claims and are committed to paying customers what they are owed.
Staying with the Palisades fire, a new documentary coming out next month laying into California Governor Gavin Newsom and L.A. Mayor Karen Bass for deserting L.A. as it burned.
We'll see how people with power accelerated this apocalypse.
It's the kind of thing what could have been if they were here quickly, and they just weren't.
The whole thing just burned right to the ground with the mayor and the governor within a block.
Republican political strategist and general counsel for Fix California, Katie Zachariah, joins me now. And Katie, look, we knew it was bad. I don't know if we knew it was as bad as this documentary makes it out to be. So how bad did these two fail? And when it comes to Gavin Newsom, how the heck can this guy run to be president of the United States after this?
Yeah, exactly, Todd. It's a history of repeated injuries on Gavin Newsom's part. Look, he was warned by President Trump in 2018 that our reservoirs were low and he needed to do deforestation and brush clearance. That is exactly what has happened in the Palisades. And as that Chase building that man was referring to, that they were walking in front of, is really this staple building in the middle of the Pacific Palisades that Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass are standing in front of for a photo op while it burns. They didn't have enough resources. They had a very, very low budget fire department. Gavin Newsom, Todd, decided not to give the firefighters a raise. He vetoed a bipartisan bill just recently. This is not just negligence. This should fall under honest.
Sister, people were already asking for you. Everybody misses you when you're not here. Good morning. Good morning.
Honestly, like this beyond incompetence. Clearly, they knew what was happening. They didn't put the proper channels in place, Todd, ahead of time.
There was a hearing yesterday to investigate California's response to the Palisades fire. And one of the lead speakers was Spencer Pratt. Yes, the reality star guy. Watch this.
These 12 people deserved to feel safe in their homes, but were instead lost in a fire that was the direct result of gross negligence and mismanagement by our state and our local government.
We've been forced to lead our own recovery because the city won't. We need federal intervention.
Wow. Katie, this hearing was led by Rick Scott. Rick Scott is the senator from Florida. Where are the California senators?
Right. They're not focused on fixing these problems, Todd. And these people are not getting permits to rebuild their homes either. So not only did their home get eviscerated, insurance is not covering it because a lot of these people had been kicked off of insurance plan, as the guy said earlier. And the California Fair Plan didn't come into effect and or only subsidizes or insures homes up to a certain value. And in the Pacific Palisades particularly, these home values way exceed what California Fair Plan is willing to cover. So many of these people have left the area, are selling their lots at pennies on the dollar to big commercial developers. And you see this attempt on California's government to bring in low-income housing to this very dominant, beautiful area. Todd, it's a disaster. Gavin Newsom should be accountable for this, and this should be constantly on the news until he announces his run for president.
Yeah, this documentary, when it gets out, I think it's going to be very, very telling. He's going to have a tough time coming back from it. Quickly, before we let you go, DOJ suing California over the state's new adopted redistricting plan. Of course, we're talking about Prop 50. Now, California's going to say, well, if Texas can do this, why can't we? Because ultimately, this was a response to Texas. You're a lawyer, Katie. Does that argument fly?
Well, in reading the case, they're relying on the fact that they had a man named Paul Mitchell who went out and he decided to advertise that they were redrawing these maps on the basis of race, which is a violation of the Equal Protection Clause in the 14th Amendment. And you cannot use race as a predominant factor unless you follow this very, very narrow line of strict scrutiny, that it's very narrowly tailored and it satisfies these specific requirements set out in Cooper v. Miller. So I think that what we're going to see, Todd, is they have standing to upend Prop 50 on the basis that Prop 50 was used and used to justify the maps based on race and race alone, and that is not constitutional.
Yeah, literally day one of constitutional law, you cannot discriminate on race. The fact that this guy, ironically named Paul Mitchell, this really is getting hairy.
I'm Steve Ducey.
Man, California is doomed, man, just like New York. What I find interesting is that this guy that can't run his state actually thinks he can run the whole country. And I'm going to say, man, there is enough dumb people out there to actually vote for Gavin Newsom. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. The guy's a liar. He is a hypocrite. I'm sorry, guys. It's not that, that I hate him because the way he looks. No, it's because he has been lying. He has been using illegal immigrants to his advantage. What they're doing right now with this whole gerrymandering that they're doing, it's exactly what they do. They like to cheat. They like to stay in power, so they will do whatever they need to do to stay in power. It's not about making everything equal, right? Everything needs to be equal, and then we can allow the people to go ahead and vote. No, these guys, they are almost working like communists. They literally want to get rid of the other party, and we don't want that. We want parties. We want both parties, both Democrats and Republicans, to fight who can do better for us. Know who can talk the most crap about the other. If there is one thing that I disagree sometimes with President Trump with his making speeches, is that sometimes he probably concentrates a little bit too much on throwing dirt on the other side, even though they deserve it. But throwing dirt on them instead of just like, just let them do what they're going to do, and you continue doing what you do. I know it's annoying, and I'm actually surprised that he's not worse. But it's very annoying when you're really trying to do something to help somebody, and they just don't let you help. So what do you got to do? Ignore them? Get rid of them? I mean, what do you do then? It's a damn shame, because I believe that California is a beautiful state. And I mean, the weather, I think, is what gives it its appeal, because people want to go on vacation. They want to get away from snow, from the cold, from rains all the time. And California has a lot of entertainment, and we like entertainment. That's what people like. And they'd rather follow a liar as long as they are entertained. And, there's a very thin line, right, with what we need and what we really what we want and what we really need. I think that's the difference. Let me see anybody here. What do you guys think about California? What's going on with Gavin Newsom? Steve here, 5 minutes here, and I can see why the rest of the world thinks the USA Steve still in the chat? Fox would go after anyone who tries to be Democratic nominee, and they will ignore anything that is against Trump. Well, isn't that funny? Because that's exactly what I think about the leftists. Every single government, every single governor, senator, anybody that is a Democrat, they can be destroying our cities, they can be destroying our state, and Democrats are happy to hear it's President Donald Trump's fault. Why is that okay? Why do you not make that distinction? Why do you think that is the other way around? You see, you think that way, and we think this way. So who's right? Well, I tend to go for the one that says America first. I tend to go for the one that says no to illegal immigration. You know why? Because if you accept illegal immigrants in this country, that means that anybody can break the law. This is why you have companies taking advantage of illegal immigrants. And illegal immigrants come in here demanding stuff because they know that everybody else is breaking the law. So how do you manage? How do you enforce the law? How do you enforce the law when you allow some to break it and then you want to enforce it on others so they don't break it? Like, how does that work? You cannot be half warm. You got to be hot. Either you're cold or you're hot, but not lukewarm. See, that's what makes sense. See, I think about these kind of things, and this is how I make my decisions. Why would I support illegal immigrants? Illegal immigrants that break the law because of their need are willing to do whatever it takes for their family. I'm okay of doing whatever it takes for your family if it's not breaking the law. Illegal immigrants always say, oh, I want the American dream. Well, it's not for you. If you didn't get a permit, a visa to come here, and then you didn't become a resident, and then you didn't become a citizen, it's not for you. The American dream is literally that for the American citizens, for those who love the United States of America. It's not for the world. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So you have this big problem down in California. If you go down there, yeah, the state is beautiful. But if you actually go into California, driving towards Hollywood, Universal Studios, it is freaking ghetto. Ghetto. Dirty. Garbage everywhere. South Central. All these rappers that became famous because of all the poverty and all the violence and all the sexual immorality. They became famous out of all those negative, bad things as if it was a cool thing to live and to do. Violence has been multiplied because of gangster rap. People out there still acting violent. How is that going to make your state beautiful? It's not. I lived there 3 years. West Hollywood is a joke. I live down in South Central as well. That's a joke. Rat holes that are as expensive as New York's rat holes. That's not great. The state itself is great, but the living in there is not great. But you got to fight for it. If you don't stand up for what you love, if you don't stand up for your city, for your state, then it doesn't matter how beautiful it is. Money will run out eventually. If you lead tyrants, if you let Marxist communists to continue to rule your state, it will fail. Money does run out. You're not going to have business, rich, big corporations wanting to be taken advantage of. Some do. Some do. But I don't agree with that. George Zimmerman says California is super rich, guys. That's why, as far back as the 90s, most residents were considered low income. Well, we know that Hollywood has brought a lot of money in there, right? And let's not forget that Hollywood is the one has demonized Christianity. Very interesting. And let's not forget that Hollywood is also the one that has been putting a lot of these theories against our government, which unfortunately a lot of them are true. But, they also twist reality to where people can't tell what fiction and reality really is. They always make fun of Christians. Yes or no? They always put God down. The evil people always said, God, I trust you. Well, we know which God they're following. It's not our God. West Cochina, says Paul. And Güero says, I'll be in California in December. It's beautiful. So you are from California, but you don't live there? Why don't you live in California, Güero? That's something I would like to know. Sylvia says, I agree. Our family had to go through all the process, and our family is very wealthy. We still went through the process. Well, very nice for you, Sylvia. Thanks for sharing. Let's see. What city you're from? I love my country, says Paul Salsi, and the people's president, Donald J. Trump. Yeah, somebody, I think I put him in timeout, but he says something about, Trump is not the boss. We voted him so that he can work for us. No, yes and no. Listen, the reason why we vote is because we have to be in agreement that we want a certain people to lead us. See, they're serving us, but they're leading us. It is a Christianity point of view that the lead would be the servant. But as such, show respect. We voted the men in, show respect. It's very simple. I can tell you, guys, I have my doubts about Trump. Sometimes, I don't know, man. Sometimes, that past come and bite you in the ass. I get it. But I have to keep trusting that God knows what he's doing. I have to keep supporting him as long as he's my president, as long as he is, not convicted to be an actual criminal, like some people say. Hey, Jack, good morning. I have to continue to support it. We voted him in. Well, let's find out. Let's take a look and see how we did. We got 4 years for that. Until then, just keep your mouth shut. I'm going to tell you, if we see him doing something tyrannical, we'll go against him. But he's not. Everything he's doing so far, man, it's what we voted for. So I'm not going to go against him on that. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but it is what it is. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into not that. Close that one. I don't need you. Not you. Oh yeah, I'm going to share a little clip that somebody did of me for you guys to have fun. And let me see. Let me try to find it here really quick. Somebody took their time to make a video. They actually made a couple of them about me. And of course, this is I'm being arrested by ICE. I am sure many of our haters in here will appreciate this few seconds clip. 9-second clips. All right, it's 2 of them. Here you go. Güero, enjoy. Somebody made that clip about me. Enjoy it. Enjoy it for all my haters that come and visit sometimes. Enjoy that video. There you go. All right, that was just for fun, but we do have. Let me see. Okay, that was Newscom. We have some more information from Fox, your favorite news channel if you're a Democrat. I know how much you guys like Fox. So here we go.
This hour, Fox News is confirming that the Justice Department has opened a probe into California Congressman Eric Swalwell over alleged mortgage fraud. This after a criminal referral from Federal Housing Director Bill Pulte, who made allegations surrounding millions of dollars in loans and refinancing based on Swalwell declaring his primary residence is in Washington, not California. Swalwell branding himself a target of the president, saying this: as the only person who still has a surviving lawsuit against him, the only thing I am surprised about is that it took him this long to come after me, says Swalwell. I will not end my lawsuit against President Trump, and I will not stop speaking out against the president. Claim.
This is from the spy that shagged me. The one sleeping with a Chinese spy. Well, well, well. I'm surprised that he is in office, guys. Why do you vote these people in there? Why?
The California congressman. Joining me now is former federal prosecutor, former acting ICE director, and former DHS deputy assistant secretary, Jonathan Fahey. Jonathan, great to see you. Thanks for weighing in on this. Your reaction to the criminal referral on Eric Swalwell.
Well, I think it's pretty interesting, and certainly his reaction, we'll get to in a second, but the fact that he is listing his primary residence in Washington, D.C., assuming that's all true, and yet he's representing California in Congress, there's a problem there because you can't be a primary resident of both. So I think the things they're going to be looking into are what's he saying on his tax returns? Where does he have a driver's license? Does he even have a home in California? And what is he listed with that? Because my understanding is one of the addresses that was supposedly his address in California, somebody else lives there. So he could have a problem either way this thing shakes out. If he's falsely claiming a primary residence to get a lower interest rate and therefore money, that's a problem. If he actually lives in Washington, D.C. and isn't living in California but is voting there and represents there where he's required to be an inhabitant of the state, that's a problem too. So it's quite interesting. And just real quick on his response, President Trump probably has no idea that Eric Swalwell has a suit against him. And when you have a response like that, it makes you think, you know, there's something up because he didn't directly answer the question. And if the answer to the question is, I primarily live here, but I'm also an inhabitant of California, he could have just said that, but he didn't. So that, I think it'll be very interesting as to what they come up with when they start digging a little bit deeper.
Well, look, we know that Eric Swalwell has been against this president from day one, and he's been more of a friend to China than a friend to the president of the United States. Don't forget that Swalwell had this suspected Chinese spy gaining access to California politics for so long, as he had an affair or some kind of a remote romantic relationship with Fang Fang, Jonathan. So there's that, and that's not even part of this investigation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what was going on with Fang Fang was certainly, you know, I think he lost his security clearance in the House or wasn't allowed to be on the Intel Committee because of it. So this guy has certainly had a lot of questionable judgment over the years. But a lot of these Democrats are almost saying their criticism of President Trump should somehow inoculate them from any responsibility for their own actions, which doesn't make a lot of sense here. And I think he has some, you know, he needs to answer these questions because it is serious, you know, because he did presumably, if he got a lower rate, he made money because of this, if it in fact was a false statement.
Yeah, I mean, the controversy with Fang Fang resurfaced in 2020 when there were reports that Fang had targeted multiple Bay Area politicians. This is China's MO. They try to get involved in local politics to try to get their guy forward. Eric Swalwell was China's guy, that's for sure. And the FBI alerted Swalwell to Fang's activity in 2015. But look, this broader issue of the Democrats trying to target their political enemies is growing by the day. We are learning more evidence every day. We've got new FBI documents that show former federal special counsel Jack Smith going after the personal cell phone records of former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy as part of his probe into January 6th. This was the sitting Speaker Speaker of the House. Okay, Kevin McCarthy at the time was the Speaker of the House. They wanted his personal phone. Smith sought the same of then Congressman Louis Gohmert of Texas, all part of this quote-unquote significant case notification drafted by the FBI in 2023. Fox also learning that Smith met with former FBI Director Christopher Wray just 1 day before that document was drafted after months of Operation Arctic Frost began. We learned this because Senator Chuck Grassley outed everything. He told Fox News Jack Smith claims he wants to tell his story to Congress, but when I asked him point blank if he ever met with Garland, Monaco, or Wray as part of his investigation, he refused to answer. Senators Grassley and Ron Johnson have been leading this investigation, finding nearly a dozen Republican senators had their communications tracked under the Biden White House. Jonathan, your reaction to this Arctic Frost investigation? Add Kevin McCarthy, President Trump, to this list of all the people that the Democrats and Jack Smith were trying to track and spy on.
Yeah, it's really outrageous, and so much credit should be given to Chuck Grassley for just being, digging into this, because it's so outrageous what Jack Smith was doing, and this idea that he wants to tell a story. No, he wants a soapbox to make a case against President Trump and try to take him down again. But what's really outrageous about this is not only going after the members of Congress and Senate, because this is, again, a co-equal branch, and usually the Department of Justice has very stringent safeguards for doing anything investigating the co-equal branch, but then doing it in such a broad form of sending out subpoenas for everyone under the sun shows that they really not just wanted to take down Trump, which we've all known that, and everyone around him in his orbit, but also the Republican Party, because some of these subpoenas went after places like Turning Point, the Republican National Committee, the Republican Attorney General's Association. So they wanted to go after these organizations. And how does that hurt the Republican Party? Well, what does it do? Donors are then afraid to associate with these groups, don't want to support them. So it all has a chilling effect on people's First Amendment rights to associate, to donate, to be a part of these organizations. It is so shameful. But remember, during this time, this is a time period in Congress where people like Senator Schumer and others were calling to get rid of the filibuster, pack the Supreme Court. They were going full on to take down the Republican Party and using January 6th or whatever they could use as a pretext to do so. And it's so shameful.
Hey, Liberty.
What
What's
Jack
up,
Smith
buddy?
wants to do, again, he wants his moment in the sun, but he wouldn't answer direct questions from Senator Grassley, which he's obligated to do. And I hope he'll ask Chris Wray, who I expect will answer questions, but to find out what the heck was going on, why were there no safeguards on this, because it really is outrageous conduct.
Yeah, it sure is. And by the way, when I spoke with Ron Johnson over the weekend, the Wisconsin senator said that there were 38 Wisconsinites, normal, average, everyday people. They were just leading and involved in politics, local politics, who were targeted, who were actually they tried to take them down because they were supporters of President Trump. So you are spot on. This is not just about 12 lawmakers. This is not just about tracking Kevin McCarthy or President Trump. This is about anybody who supported President Trump and Republicans, broadly speaking.
Yep. So, Wedo, I missed your answer. Liberty, welcome, brother. I see you. Dirty money in the house. More wrenches. Good morning, Cheryl. I see you. Robert Hesman, how are you? John, it's okay to go after anyone who breaks the law. Absolutely. Who said that it was great to make, what, $41 in California? Uh-huh. And how much do you pay in state taxes? How much in federal taxes? How much on taxes, on gas, on food? How much on sales tax? How much on tax of cost of doing business? How much tax do you actually pay in your beautiful blue state? And I'm glad you're making $41. What, they have thousands of homeless people on the street. L.A. looks like Ghettolandia. Ghettoland. It's not Disneyland. It's Ghettoland. Yeah, no conditions, and I couldn't afford to stay in California. No way. Wedo, what? I missed your answer. What was the reason why you left California? I have a guess, but it's probably wrong. All right, let's see. So gas prices, I am going to tell you, we are paying over $1 in taxes per gallon. With that being said, taxes over here would probably be around $3.86, $3.79. But instead, actually, no. What is the price that I put? $3.86. It would be actually under $3 if it wasn't for taxes. So one of the things, and I'm glad you guys are talking about taxes, because I hate the fact that the news reporters, I mean, they're doing their job, I guess, right? But I hate the fact that news reporters like to say that prices are way up. Now, if I was to go against President Donald Trump and I was to say, you know what, I hate this guy, and I missed it, bro. I missed it. Money. Yeah, well, I bet. So if California was so great, so I would have been right with my suggestion, with my guess. Money, that is the main reason. And it's not because Texas, you can make more money. Your wages in Texas are actually less. And your cost of living in Texas is a lot less. So yeah, money. And here we are. We love California, right? But anyway, I can tell you this. Governors, Senate, all this leftist blue city and states that hate President Donald Trump. It doesn't matter how much. You have to hold people accountable for what they're doing too. You can't just blame the innocent and you're not doing anything wrong. No. You have to hold them accountable for it. What happens when your parents give you an allowance? You can either save it, you can use it sparingly, or you can just waste your money. I know people that have gotten allowances and they were able to save and they were able to get some nice things for themselves. I know the people that used to just waste their money on anything. And then I never got an allowance. I was always poor. I never got allowances. But my mother, she always did take care of us. So that was a good thing. But governors, the whole state, it's not just one guy. It's the whole state. Just ask Dirty Money because he knows and you keep missing my comment. Bro, put a super chat in there, man. Stop being so damn cheap. If you're making money in Texas, don't be cheap. Put a super chat so I don't miss your comments. It's more likely that I'm missing my members' comments and they are colored. You are just, you blend with everybody else. Everybody's white. It's all racial. Everything is racial up in here. It's all about the color. But anyway, I noticed the prices are going down on a lot of stuff, but not here. like for example, gas. Here we go. And I'm going to say this. Hold on. David, you're not giving me anything to work with, so go to the corner. Time out for you. No more David, okay? No more David, because he's Mexican. We see prices dropping, but as soon as the next tax kicks in, prices go right back up. And on top of that, we have to also put up with people that are price gouging. I showed you guys a report the other day about people that were going to the grocery stores and they were price gouging. They were giving people the wrong pricing. I mean, this happens all the time. But, people thought that they were going to pay, $2.99 for something, ended up paying almost $4 for something. Something about expired tags and all this other stuff. So there's a lot of things that go on, right? Convenience stores. If you go to a gas station and you buy one of these bottles, you're lucky if you get it for $1, maybe $2, right? But if you go to Costco, you pay $4 for the whole 36 pack of them. That's how that works. So convenience will make prices go up. If demand is very high, prices will go up. For example, let me see. Reed Pat says, you know what I hate? Men who put women at risk, like Dennis. Reed Pat, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you coming in here. And Go get a tampon. Tim has a lot of tampons for you to use. Get out of here. All right. Let's see. Knife says, see, that's what he does. He demonetizes when he can't argue. What? Okay, guys. I'm gonna mention something for you. See, my patriots, my subscribers, and the people that put America first, the people that actually want to come in here and make sense of something, they're respectful. You guys, the more that you demand and you provide nothing, you provide no benefit, you provide no help, you provide no support, and you come in here and just troll and just talk garbage. That's it. And so we're not going to tolerate that today. So if you have a wrench next to your name, I want you to get rid of every single negative comment that you see on the chat. And I want just serious people that want to have a good conversation today. So clean the chat. You can get rid of Knife. You can get rid of David. Not David Johnson. You can get rid of Popeye. You can get rid of that. Okay? Get rid of the garbage in there. And anybody that comes in with a negative comment like Amit, I'll take care of Amit right away myself. Thank you for stopping by. Get the hell out of my chat. All right. While you guys clean the chat up, I want only Americans. I want only people that support legal migrants. I want people that support America first only on this chat. If you see anything else on here, get rid of it. All right? I don't care about the amount of viewers. I care about the quality of the people. Steele is okay because he supported the Seahawks. You better behave. All right, we'll go to our next video. Let's see. Also, this is an English chat. If you guys see Spanish on there and you don't understand, get rid of it. I don't care if they mean well. You should be able to speak English. All right, here's a little scoop, guys, that, yes, Viva Mexico. I will take that, Freedom. That one you can keep. This is a uncounted ballots found days after the election. Now, this is about a week old now, but it's very interesting because I didn't hear about this, so I will assume that a lot of people didn't hear about this either. Let's take a look. Hey, Scott, good morning. George, good morning. Let's see. Okay, yeah, see, Knife, it's not about that. It's just I get tired, bro, of just stupid comments. Thank you, Dirty Money. Appreciate you. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Next clip. Again, this is MAGA Nation. If you're a MAGA supporter, welcome. If you're an America First supporter, welcome. We can always talk and, we can always have discussions. But don't come over here just to troll. Don't come over here just to distract us. We're trying to have communication, okay? Let's see. David said, Dennis, you opened this public forum for a free speech. But no, I just said it again. I want only patriots, American patriots. Hi, Alice. If you are not for America, and I'm talking about the United States of America, not the continent, then you don't have to be in this chat, okay? So there is that. If I ever say, let's go ahead and have a conversation, open communication, I'll tell my my brothers in here and sisters to just go ahead and let all the comments go through. But when we're trying to actually get rid of haters, we're just not going to play games, okay? I want every American patriot to come in here and feel like they are being respected, like they are being loved, understood. I want real concerns. Like, for example, there is things that I don't like that President Trump says at times. See, like, for example, when he says there is no crime in Washington, D.C., there's no way that's true. There has to be some crime, right? So some people get turned off by that language, but I know what he means because it was worse. It was really bad that now it's like there's no crime. President Trump exaggerates, okay? And that's something that we all do. But what I'm saying is just don't come in here and be disrespectful to other people, okay? There's a lot of veterans in here, Chris. All right, let's take a look and see what this ballot thing was for. And help me understand because I think I'm missing something out of this.
Today, Maricopa County elections officials revealed that they found almost 2,800 unopened ballots today inside their downtown warehouse. The ballots were discovered as elections workers were inspecting equipment returned from county voting locations.
Okay, election workers, okay, election workers.
According to an election spokeswoman, a drop box containing ballots with a tamper-proof seal had been transferred from a West Valley voting site.
It was set up.
They were still sealed. They were still sealed with tamper seal. So that means that that nobody actually opened them and tried to cheat to put different ballots in there or whatever. But continue.
Aside, and when it was opened up this morning, they found it. They immediately, put a hold on the staff. They went and got a manager. We had somebody who was a Republican and a Democrat then take custody of those. And our staff did a great job making sure that when they were discovered that they were able to follow.
So the staff did a great job that when it was discovered that they follow every procedure. What the hell is that? How is that a great job? The election is over. How is that a great job? Almost 3,000 ballots, guys. Almost 3,000 voting ballots. Do you think maybe that will have a change when the race is being won by just a few hundreds, maybe a couple of thousand? Yeah, that's not. I showed you guys from my X account how they can tell, if you voted yes or no. They can grab those by just looking at the envelope and just separate it and just use the ones that they think that they need to do. And they will leave a lot of valid votes to go through, but because they know that the number has already been altered and they have a guaranteed win. It's so easy to cheat with voting in ballots. I don't like it. Yep, and welcome to all my patriots. We had just celebrated the 250th birthday for our Army, 250th birthday for our Marine Corps, 250 for the Navy. And then I believe next year we're going to be celebrating 250th anniversary for our nation. I hope that's correct. All right, let's finish this little clip.
The chain of custody.
So it was found in this warehouse in downtown Phoenix at your headquarters where it has been secured the whole time since leaving the vote center.
Correct.
And who won in Arizona that was complaining about she wasn't sworn in right away?
Somewhere in this
Correct.
room.
Correct.
Wow.
Look at that. Unsealed. 2 boxes. No big deal. Just a couple of boxes. Yeah, it's no big deal. That's Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona. Let's take a look and see. Let's see. Let's see. Phoenix. Let's see. Arizona. Elections. Blah, 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 blah. The same thing. Election day. Here's what's on the ballot. I want to know the results.
It is Election Day Tuesday. Across the state, the countdown is on. Voters in 10 of Arizona's 15 counties, they only have a few hours left really to head to the ballot box.
So you might have a lot of questions going in today. How is it going to work? What if I lost my ballot? Can I still vote? We've got...
Here's Election results in Arizona. Let's take a look.
And with election results coming in from across Arizona and the rest of the country. Thanks for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Mark Curtis.
I'm Troy Hayden. Voters in Maricopa County asked to increase
Wise Health. And tonight, this race, as you can see, is too close.
Maricopa. You see do you see how you find information when you go search for it? Maricopa County, leading by 10,891 votes at this moment. 51% to 49%. Now you're looking at 288,000 versus 277,000. Here's the catch. Let me see here. See if I can find the right place. Give me what I want to see. Nothing in here that I want to see.
To right away and let them know after I've aggregated all the information. Okay, here's what I came into. This is what we have going on in District 2 and in Mesa. Here's the budget allocated to it. And here's what I see coming down the pipeline. So you have an idea of where I'm going to need you to vote, right? Like this, I'm going to need to know, what do you want, yes or no? So that's, to me, it's communication is key.
Now in downtown Mesa, Spilsbury did hold a watch party that we were there. And again, once those initial results came out, Spilsbury became very emotional, shedding many tears along with her constituents who were also there that night. Again, she knew this would be challenging, but she said she didn't lose to Dorian Taylor. She lost to Turning Point USA, saying there was no way she could compete with them.
I've done a dang good job on the city council for the last 5 years. I care deeply about this city and about people. I don't care if you have an R or a D after your name. I want every single person in our city to be
emotional,
to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel like they belong in our community. And I'm really worried that with a group like this, we're going to have one group of our population represented in my district, and that's not okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now let's talk a little bit about how this recall effort got started. The person who filed the petition said it was the way that Spilsbury was voting on certain issues here in Mesa. Now keep in mind, some of those votes were unanimous with the city council members. But what it really came down to was Spilsbury's support of Vice President Kamala Harris and
you know, you guys remember when we were, well, we weren't talking yet, but like a lot of us were talking about trucks of votes, of ballots that were hidden when they were counting for the election and were found later on. Like it was not just a couple of hundred, it was thousands and hundreds of thousands of ballots in full trucks. We have seen a lot of Democrat, mayors going around stealing ballots from actual mailboxes and things like that on the street. It is crazy. Now, they might have just found those 2 boxes in there, but that's just what they forgot to either get rid of or didn't get a chance to go through. I just don't believe their innocence when you have so much shady things going on with what they're doing with elections. This is why they always fight to protect mail-in ballots, because they can get away with stuff. Good morning, Time. And good morning, Shiva, Lydia, Alice. I already said that. Hello to her. My cousin, Brenda. She's not my real cousin, guys. She just has my last name. Buenos dias. Peace be with us on this cold, rainy Friday. It is it still raining? Yeah. It's still cold, rainy Friday. Absolutely. Let's see, what else we got? Any comments on the, let's see, Travis says, the picture of topless young girls gonna be fake news. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Travis. What do you mean? Let's not play the victim, not today, okay? Don't play the victim today. I think that a lot of people get in trouble because they look for trouble. There's victims, and there's actually people that go and look for trouble. Okay? Let's not forget that a lot of men in clubs get tricked by minors with fake IDs all the time. I don't blame the clubs. I don't blame the people that get tricked with fake IDs. I blame the parents who raise these teenagers to lie about their age. And that's where I think, okay? So we'll see. If there is any minor abuse, absolutely. Whoever is responsible needs to pay for that. There is no protecting that. But don't make false accusations, bro. Don't come in here and raise false testimony against anybody as if you were there. If you were not there, shut the hell up and just wait until there actually is some proof that is validated in court and that there is a judgment. Until then, shut up and stop blaming people for what you think that they did. If you were not there, if you were not witness to such thing, then you have no say. It is that simple. I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody. If they are proven guilty, things come out, okay, I get it. Then we can say. Then we can condemn. Then we can judge. But until then, man, stop talking like you know exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? What up, the dude? The dude. That's what people don't understand. They think that, okay, oh, you guys are just Trump followers. It's not just that we're Trump followers. We support him. He's doing a great thing. He's doing a great job. We believe him until we are proven wrong. Time. The dude. The dude is gonna be your future wife, bro. Come on, time. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and go on to our next story here. We already talked about California. I think it's time to listen to some CNN for all of you people that love CNN. Let's go ahead and see what CNN has to show us. Welcome, Nove. We're actually talking about different stories. We already finished quite a few of them as well, actually. But let's go ahead and go to the next one from CNN. And this is actually about Nicolas Maduro, guys. Here we go. It's some. I haven't seen this either. I grabbed some topics so that we can grab and that we can go off on. But I haven't seen these yet, okay? So bear with me. I'm watching it with you.
A CNN exclusive. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro with a message for Americans as President Trump mulls potential military action inside Venezuela. Ooh. CNN contributor Stefano Pozzomon is in Caracas with the latest. Good morning, Stefano.
Yes, good morning. I think that the value of the exchange that we had with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro yesterday here in Caracas is not on the message that he said, not what he said, because we have heard this type of speech, these messages of peace towards the United States before. But it's the fact that he was out on the street and surrounded, quite frankly, regular people, regular Venezuelans. And
so just on this picture here, I'm not saying nothing bad is happening. I believe there's a lot of bad things happening in Venezuela because of the regime of Nicolas Maduro. But just by looking here, does this look like a country that is suffering? I don't know, man. It actually looks kind of clean, to be honest. It actually looks kind of nice back there. I see some businesses there, some fast food restaurants, etc. There's some Mickey D's back there, guys. I guess Venezuela is still good enough for business. I hear your time. I don't know your handsome, used to be handsome face. We're all there, my friend. We're all there. I'm just happy that I already have a wife, so she has no choice but to stick with me. Yeah, man, I hear you, brother.
supporters of his government. The exchange was in a march just outside the Miraflores Presidential Palace. I was able to ask him what is his message for President Trump. Take a listen.
What is your message to the people of the United States, President?
To unite for the peace of the continent. No more endless wars, no more unjust wars, no more Libya, no more Afghanistan.
Do you have a message for President Trump?
My message is yes, peace. Yes, peace.
I think that it's important to highlight the context of that exchange. Maduro is not only the sitting head of state here in this country, but he is also, according to the White House accuses him of being the leader of a narco-trafficking cartel, and they
That's
even
right.
put a $50 million bounty on his head just a few months ago. For months, we have seen, especially we have heard from the White House, messages of Maduro being afraid, of Maduro being willing to negotiate. I think that yesterday's message from him was frankly a loud, catch me, come and get me. I'm here in Caracas, surrounded by my people. They didn't want to show that he is afraid just as much as somebody in the White House perhaps wants him to be. And that is why it was so important, I think, for him to be seen outside of the presidential palace for, I think, the first time in a few months, and the first time that he accepted questions from journalists since this new deployment of warships from the United States began up until 3 months ago.
All right, Stefano Pozzebon in Caracas for us this morning. Stefano, thank you for your reporting. With us now, CNN's chief national security analyst, Jim Sciutto, who's laughing at me right now. And CNN military analyst, retired Colonel Cedric Leighton. Jim, I want to start with you here because you've got new reporting on this, and it's complicated.
Leo says, yeah, it does look nice, right? That's what you're talking about? But if you go to where average people live, it's worse than Skid Row. Yes, I understand. I believe you, my friend. And that's what I'm saying. It looks nice, right, where you see that on there. But yeah, I do agree. The whole thing, though, is that, if it wasn't prospering, did you see all those hundreds of people in there, the crowd that is around them? I mean, I don't know if he was able to pay them all to be there to support him or show a fake support. But dude, there's still a lot of people, man, a lot of people that just don't want to stand up for themselves, Kyle says it's the bad guy from the Expendables. That's funny. Feed your people, Maduro, says Trinity. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've heard from before is that he was blocking food, from his own people, and that's not cool. Let's see. Alice says we need to send these Mandani voters to Maduro. Let them live in his country since they love socialism so much. That's a good one. That's a good one. Good job, Alice. Let's see. Good morning, Corbin. Wedo said, doesn't look like they hate him. Yeah, exactly. They love him, bro. These people do. I don't know, man. And I got my feelings, kind of mixed emotions because, the Mexican president, you had all these people disappear or, killed or whatever. And she made the presidency. So what do you make of that? And then the worst thing that she can do is when she became president, she started saying that she didn't want to make war against the cartel, and she literally said we need to hand out more hugs. She literally said we need to hand out more hugs, and that's how we're gonna, that's what Mexico's all about, and that's how we're gonna make a change in our country. Man, let's see. The Mexican president is Jewish. What? No, she's not. Is she? No, she's not, dude. She's a nopal, bro. She's not, man. She's 100% Mexican. I don't think she was Jewish. The one who has Jewish in him is Nayib Bukele from El Salvador. Now, that guy, man, man. I wish he was the president in Honduras, to be honest. I'm gonna share this with you guys. I'm gonna say this. Being from Central America, I can tell you this. Central America, those countries, there's 5 countries to make Central America. They are beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful green mountainous countries. And if you have the right leader to combine all these countries, wow, it would make for a very, very awesome, powerful country, to be honest. There's a lot of resources that if they don't allow criminals to go rampant and all these gangs and all this stuff, like he's stopping I don't think he's Palestinian, but I'll look it up. I'll look up the article just to make sure. You know, it would be such a great nation. It really would be. And unfortunately, of course, the enemies are always going to want to take over and all this stuff, right? But I mean, I believe the guy, he's a true leader. He actually loves the people, and he's making Salvadorians have a better life. Let me see. Nayib Bukele from El Salvador. Let's take a look. I could have sworn that he was Jewish. Well, not him, but his parents. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's do a little research here, see what's going on. Okay, Gabriela Rodriguez, parent, Armando Bukele Catalan, Olga de Bukele. Let's see. Politician. Oh, here we go. It's Nayib Bukele, Arabic. Let's take a look. So Bukele's father converted from Christianity to Islam in 1980s, it says. Became an imam. Oh, that's horrible. And founded 4 mosques in El Salvador. Bukele's mother is Catholic. Bukele's paternal grandparents were Palestinian Christians. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Wedo was right. Palestinian Christians who emigrated to El Salvador from Jerusalem. Oh, that's why I thought he was Jewish, bro. My bad. Okay, yeah, okay. All right. From Jerusalem and Bethlehem in 1921. Okay, that's why. All right, that makes sense. Well, see, I'm glad I went and looked that up. Thank you, Wedo. You are the man. Appreciate that. Yeah, that was good. Good job, Wedo. So he did come from Jerusalem, but yes, he is Palestinian apparently. Well, not him, but his ancestry. Interesting. How did a Muslim marry a Catholic? How the hell does that happen? I don't know. I don't know if that's a great mix. To be honest, I don't know if that's a great mix. Oh yeah, but Mexican president is what? Is Jewish Mexican? No, really? What? What made you guys look that up? Oh man, let's see. I mean, the last name, I guess, kind of gives it away. I was wondering what her last name was so weird that I don't recognize it. Let's take a look. All right, so she's Mexican, of course. What does Sheinbaum mean in German? Sheinbaum is a Yiddish surname that translates to beautiful tree. Let's see. What else? Where is he? Damn, bro. The president's salary in Mexico is $67,000, $68,000. That's crazy. That is crazy. And the Monaco prince is $52 million and $63,000. Woo! Monaco. Damn, bro. All right. I don't see, let's see, ethnicity. That wouldn't say it, would it? That's just a name. All right. Well, Scheinbaum is German apparently. I didn't know that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm lost on that one, to be honest. Let me see if I can find more stuff on her. Wikipedia was just a dream. Oh, man. So nothing in Wikipedia is true anymore. All right. Let's see. She is the first woman, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? I'm sick of hearing this first woman, first female. Who cares? Just let her be equal to everybody else. She's a Democratic. Of course she's Democratic. Democratic Revolution. Party of the Democratic Revolution. Not just Democratic, but Revolution. Ah, damn. Ah, man, sorry to interrupt, but give her. Nope, we're not giving her a freaking gift. Let's see. Parents, early life and family. Here we go. With a Mexican Jewish family. She's this. Okay, so she's Mexican Jewish family, it says. Interesting. I thought it would be the opposite. But let's see. Pardo Samo, descendant, were actively involved in the Mexican left-wing circles during the 1960s, participating in protest workers, of course. Why not? Scheinbaum has two siblings. Julio is a physicist and a physical oceanography researcher, blah, blah, blah. Her younger sister, Adriana, who cares? Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Oh, that says Mexican, Jewish, Mexican, or whatever, Mexican, Jewish. Doesn't really mean anything to me, to be honest, but that was interesting. Good, interesting thing to look for. What's going on here? Let's see. But isn't Denise a girl's name? Yes. Yes, it is a girl's name. But if you're not spelling my name right, you're a moron. Let's see. Emma Devin says $67,000 for Mexico is a lot of money. Oh, yeah. And she doesn't have to pay for housing. Oh, yeah. And she has an allowance. Oh, yeah. She don't have to pay any bills. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she has a nice life. She has a nice life. Claudia Sheinbaum is my cousin, says Coben. Coben, we're going to kick you. Go back to Mexico. I'm just playing. Yeah, man. Dirty money. Hey, man. Yeah, man. That's what we know. Liberty for All says all her family flee Bulgaria during World War II to Mexico. Wedo says, unfortunately, yes, dirty money. All right, we have a few people that agree that she is sleeping with the enemy. Time says, be back, work to do. You got it, brother. Go do your thing. Last thing we need, says Alice, our women president. Alice knows. She knows better than that, I guess. Women don't know what to wear every day. It's a constant fight, guys. It's a constant fight. I think my wife dresses 3 times before she gets out that door. It's just ridiculous. Me, I'll grab some pants, t-shirt, sweater. Let's go. Match? Maybe. If I'm lucky, it'll match. All right, let's go and see what else CNN has for us. Let's take a look.
Right? Because the U.S. is involved right now in these active strikes against drug boats, what the administration says are drug boats in the water. At the same time, you've got reporting of the president being briefed on land action that could be connected to regime change. I mean, there's a lot going on here.
This is what Zach.
Wait a minute. Why do they keep saying regime change? Why are these guys stupid? They are talking about the Nobel Peace Prize winner. Why are they calling her a regime? That's just crazy. It's just crazy. Oh wait, it's because it makes President Donald Trump look like the bad guy that we're not helping Venezuela, that we're just trying to change regime. That's what that means. Hulk Smash, welcome to the chat, my friend. Good morning, Leo. God bless the USA.
That is that the president was briefed this week on multiple military options for Venezuela, up to and including strikes on land, and including not just striking drug targets, but also potentially military targets. I'm told that Southcom, Southern Command, has set up cells for developing these strike options, these strike packages,
Have a good one,
have
Alex.
then been presented to the president, Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary.
Thank you for joining us. Have a good one. Be blessed.
And Dan Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Now, the president hasn't decided to exercise these options, and our reporting is that the president hasn't decided how far he wants to go, and frankly has reservations about going to full-scale military action there. That said, they've at least developed the options for him, and given that range of options, it shows you at least what they're considering, right? And they certainly, with all these pieces in place there, including the biggest warship in the U.S. Navy, right,
Nice
the Gerald
shot.
Ford, they have the capability to carry out these options.
And again, we're showing these strikes against what the administration says are drug vessels, and this is connected but slightly different than what you're talking about here.
Now, I'm going to say, guys, I mean, I don't know how big these boats are. They look, hey, Nathan, how are you? They look small. They look small. They look pretty small. Look at that. That's a small boat. I mean, it looks small, right, from the air. Now, I don't know what size that is, but how weak are the missiles that we're hitting them with? Because I don't even want to see the boat on fire moving. I want to see that thing just annihilated, destroy completely. Like that thing should sink immediately. And instead, it just keeps floating with fire on top. Like, what kind of bombs are those? Que pasa, way? Adam in the house. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Angel Rivera. Let's see. Everybody's behaving so far. It looks good. I like it. And everybody can enjoy the actual chat.
The biggest warship in the U.S. Navy, right, the Gerald Ford, they have the capability to carry out these options.
And again, we're showing these strikes against what the administration says are drug vessels, and this is connected but slightly different than what you're talking about here. And I'm going to talk about the military implications of this with Cedric in a second, but Jim, from a political and diplomatic perspective here, explain to me that subtle difference between when you're talking about strikes on military targets in Venezuela.
246-810-12. I believe it's now 18 or 19 boats that have been blown out the water. They look like small boats, man. I don't know. Like there should be no trace of it. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of missiles they're hitting them with, or you know what kind of things they're doing. But Robert says the missiles being used are from World War II. Well, that makes sense. You know what? We gotta use it. We you know, use it or lose it, they say. Maybe that's the mentality from it.
Versus the video we keep showing of the boats here.
Well, to date, the administration has gone after what it says are drug smugglers here, these deadly strikes. Of course, there are those who question that they know this, including some of our closest allies. To date, that has been as far as they go. But there is discussion, at least, consideration of going bigger, right, with possibly even the intention of trying to push Maduro out of power. Now, it's our understanding that Trump's hope, to some degree, is that this show of force might encourage others inside the country to abandon him, right? And in other words, do America's work for it, right? Short of, you know, no one's talking about a full-scale invasion. But, of course, it's not clear that that's going to happen, right? That might just be a hope and ambition. And it's...
So every now I don't know exactly about all the evidence that these boats, you know, are actually drugs on them, but they got intel on the ground. They got connections that tells them what boats are leaving, etc., what's on them, and we have caught many of them on these sort of boats, on submarines, and they have been always filled with drugs. And they got their due process, you know, some people got put in jail, etc., blah, blah, blah. And they keep doing it. So now is drastic measures. I don't think anybody is going to go out and do a big run with a bunch of packages on a boat. If they're fishing, they will be fishing. These guys actually have a bunch of packages that looks like it can be drugs, but I will have to trust our government over that of the cartel, the Solis president that actually stole the election, from what I hear. And not only that, but he has been using the country's money to be able to buy people's loyalty. Liberty for All super chat says, thank you, brother. I guess the UN and the other countries want proof if, in fact, those boats were from drug cartels. USA hasn't turned any proof yet. Well, if they want proof, they should go over there and investigate themselves, shouldn't they? They should go find out what's leaving. You can't just go and say, oh, wait a minute, you don't have proof. Well, would you go get it? We said we got proof. It's none of your business. It's all secret service. Secret documents is not going to be, classified documents is not going to be given to anybody just because they ask for it. We have our intel, and that's exactly what we do. They have been warned. They know what not to do. They know that if they are not running drugs, they can reach out on radio what their departure is, what they're doing. I mean, if you're talking about, you're seeing these boats being blown out of the water. Number one, if I had a boat, I would not be going out there. All right, that's number one. Number two, I think that there is rules and regulations for navigating on the ocean. Is that right? Yes, Matt. I have been on many boats, big and small. But from the views on the camera, I mean, everything just looks different from the air. So I wouldn't know exactly what they're doing. And it could be something where they're just doing it to see if one of these times we hit the wrong boat, and then they can have something to go off on us about. But everybody has been warned, so hopefully all these people are actual drug dealers. Must have only ever been on a boat to smuggle drugs, since you can't give me evidence that you're not a smuggler. Here, let's take a look at some of these pictures, bro. If you really believe that this boat's leaving Venezuela, that's probably not enough. So if I zoom in on that, let's see. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. No, I can't. But I see the packages on there, bro. That's not a fishing boat. I see the packets on there. I see this package right here. They're packed. That's not a fishing boat, my friend. 4 engines. Look at these big blocks of white bags. I mean, they all have it, bro. They all have the same. I mean, it's small for you guys specifically, but yeah, it doesn't look like a regular person on a boat. So for you to say that there isn't, I don't know. Thanks for the super chat, brother. You know it is. No one cares until someone does, and then all jump in pretending they care. Yeah, right. Exactly. And I think, Liberty, with that, you have taken the lead, and you are the new stream boss of this chat. To all my patriots, enjoy our favorite dance. You're the boss, like a jefe el patrón.
haircut.
The boss, el patron. Trinity, I'm gonna work on making new emojis for you guys to use. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna check to see if I can make them a little bit bigger. We'll see if that actually works better. Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and work on a lot more of those emojis so that you guys can play with. Now there's a limited amount because of the amount of members, but I believe that the more members that I have, the more I can create so that people can use instead of just the three of them. So Matt, I think you have a point. You have a point. Honestly, I just hope that that is the truth. I will tell you though, after the first one blew up, you will think they got the picture, but it has been over 18 that I know of for sure. I will refuse to believe that these guys don't know what's happening out there in the ocean. The route that they're taking has been the same route that the Cartel de Soles actually controls. And, well, you know what? They should be more careful when they go out in the ocean, right? Nayib Bukele from El Salvador, they also try to say the same thing that Matt is saying in here, which is legit. It's nothing wrong. What you're saying in here about this, how you know they're not just fishers and blah, blah, blah. Well, because they've been catching them. They've been catching them and releasing them. They have been warning them. They have been giving them this, and they get caught with drugs and blah, blah, blah. Well, we're not going to be able to arrest them out there in the open, but we can definitely stop them from coming to the United States of America. And I think that's what's happening. Now, Nayib Bukele was the Honduran president was talking shit to him because she was accusing him of just going out there and doing bad things to boats for no reason. Guess what? And now they have all kinds of proof that they were smuggling drugs, and hopefully this horrible president of Honduras gets to go to jail. So, yeah, man, there's nothing you can do if they're Venezuelans. They go back to Venezuela. This is what President Trump was complaining, that he sent all these criminals over here to the United States of America. All these cartels and drug dealers and everybody, People don't understand why we have such a hard time in our country, but that is huge. If they have evidence, I don't know if you've been watching the news, my friend, but there's plenty of evidence, man. That now I think you're just trying to make excuses for them. They have plenty of evidence. There have been arrests that has been done. That's not how that works. No, we're not playing games. There is no more due process for drug dealers. We're just gonna wipe them out. Done. And that's exactly how we're gonna do it from now on. No more talks, no more courts, no more due process. Just blowing up. We're gonna kill them dead. That is the new way that we are doing things. We're sick of criminals getting away with their shit, and I am glad that President Trump is taking a new approach to stopping these criminals. So if you want to defend criminals, go ahead. Make your own bed and sleep in it. I am not going to defend criminals. Not one bit. Dirty Money says, if you don't know someone was captured and released, you should stay the fuck out of this conversation. Dirty Money. Man. Dirty Money is one of the generals in the chat, bro. Just so you know. Trinity is as well. Is Brian still here? He already went to take a nap. Brian taking a nap. Oh, yeah, by the way, Trinity, Rush Babe has been given access to level 5 clearance. Yeah, well, we're not playing by those laws anymore. We are making our own rules from now on. That's horrible. This guy's going to believe that. All right, let's continue listening to these guys.
The president might decide to apply more military pressure.
So, Colonel Layton, to you, what's the difference from a military standpoint of continuing to hit these boats, which again the administration...
We don't abide by those. We don't abide by those. And the only ones that we abide by is Meriton. What do you guys call that? Just the, what do you call that? Oh my God, what's the word? Only Mediterráneo. Not Mediterranean. Marital? No, marital? Oh my gosh, I don't know how to say it in English. Only rules are, there's certain rules in waters where you cannot navigate. I don't know what the hell that's called. But that's it. That's the only rules that we have to follow. Everything else goes. Maritime. Oh my God. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Oh my God. I don't know, man. But you know what? If they are not in the actual area, they can do whatever they're gonna do. And these are drug dealers, so we're gonna take them out.
Says are drug boats, and then striking on the ground at potential state targets inside Venezuela.
So just to get you guys' curiosity, or at least make you a little bit happier, what we're going to do now, supposedly from what we're hearing, is that we are now going to attack on the ground. And if anything tries to leave Venezuela, well, now it's not going to happen, is there? So hopefully this will bring you guys some peace about that. And yeah, I think 800,000 Americans dead, it's enough proof for me. And these mofos got to be eliminated, period.
Yeah, that's a considerable difference and would represent, John, a very big escalation in this effort. So any type of campaign of this type requires a great deal of planning. And one of the things that I'm comparing it to is the operation back in 1989 against Panama, Operation Just Cause, as we called it. So in that particular scenario, it took almost 2 years to plan that operation and to actually take out the then leader of Panama, de facto leader of Panama, Manuel Noriega. And he was implicated in drug trafficking as well. So there are certain parallels here. But in that particular case, there were certain precipitating...
Might have a point there, Adam.
Actions on the part of both the Panamanians and the U.S. that led to Operation Just Cause actually being executed. And when it was finally executed, we employed about...
Frank Mendes says... when Frank Mendes says, I would like to see at least one little baggie of drugs floating... The way that I read that in my mind is this crackhead just wishing that at least one of those little baggies survived. You guys don't have to enjoy me on my laugh, but I can tell you that is so funny the way that I read that, bro. He said, I would like to see at least one little baggie of drugs floating. Oh, man, that was awesome, dude. I know that's not what he means, and that's not how he said it, but that's the way I read it, and in my brain is funny as heck. That's what I'm saying. Thanks for the super chat, brother. Let's see. Did you hear that now the president of Colombia is against these attacks and called Trump an assassin? And how this country has their eyes on Colombia. The guy should just keep his mouth shut. When I mention Colombia, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Now, I know what comes to my mind, but that's because I know Colombians and I know how beautiful it is. But what is the Frank Mendes, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say Colombia? Let's see. Let me look for something that I want to play for you guys here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna play something for you guys. This is for you guys, okay? This is how we lose the monetization on the channel, but it doesn't matter. Here you go, guys. Enjoy. Colombia. Mujer mía, para valida. Ven, 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 María, te quiero. Ven, ven, ven. Ven, 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 María, te adoro. Ven, ven, ven. Ven, 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 María, te quiero. Ven, ven, ven.
Muy buenos días, señor. ¿Le apetece algo de comer?
¿Cómo dices? No habla español. Un momento. Estoy hablando español. ¿Qué diablos? Realmente estoy hablando español. ¿Qué tal que Mrs. Klein, mi profesora de español, me podía oír? Ella siempre decía que yo no podría juntar dos frases. Según veo, estaba equivocada. Hola, mucho gusto. Me llamo Elliot. Hola, Juan. Hola, Esteban. ¿Dónde esta es la biblioteca? Esta es la casa de mi tía. No, gracias. Soy alérgico a los crustáceos.
Señor, ¿se siente bien?
Muy bien. Muy bien. No podría estar.
Bueno, el desayuno ya está preparado. Y después, a la caballeriza. Los hombres quieren que vaya a los establos para que vea el nuevo cemental.
¿Establos? ¡Oh, mis establos! ¡Qué bien! Deja la pregunta a mi querida esposa si quiere venir conmigo. ¡Mis establos!
Man, Brandon Fraser, man. Man, I love that actor. He's from Seattle, Washington, I believe. I think. I believe he's from Seattle, Washington. Wow. Such a horrible thing that happened with him. But, man, classic. Bedazzled, guys. If you guys haven't watched it, you're missing a great movie. I think it's funny. If you already seen it, it is worth revisiting, I think. So, let's see. Mad Loki here is still questioning these boats. It's a true American wants to investigate what's going on. Let me see what you guys are talking about here. Let's ignore CNN for now. You guys have more information for me than CNN. Let's see. You still didn't answer my question. Mike says when he hears Colombia, he thinks of coffee and cocaine. Adam said Colombian working women. Coca, baby. Coca says, man, everybody knows. Rush Babe says drugs. Trinity says fentanyl comes from China, who exports it to narco-terrorists who run drugs here. And they're actually, I think Dirty Money said it. I think Dirty Money said that it was cocaine laced with fentanyl, which is what they do now to get people more addicted to it, but obviously it's killing people. Let's see. Just a number of fentanyl persecution in Mexico. Do something for the betterment of America, says Julia Garcia. Let's see. If you think the cartel isn't shipping fent to Venezuela, then you are crazy. Let's see. I hear that yes, they are also using fentanyl, but it's mostly cocaine, or I think that's what they said. But nonetheless, it's still shit. We don't want that crap over here. Dirty, you guys just think whatever you imagine is good enough, apparently. So I don't know why anyone trusts your comments. Well, Loki, with a name like that, I think you're trying to be deceitful. You're trying to deceive the crowd. That music is Catalan. Yes, I know. They're actually Spaniards, I believe, right? I think that's the origin of the thing. What is it called? The Kings? Something Kings? And I love that song. But you know what? That's actually the only song that I like from them. So they sing like Gitanos. Gitanos is a, is a Spaniard thing. At least from what I know of. Maybe I'm just remembering things from a movie or something. Let's see. Aaron says, from my experience, as a big city, that crazies on the street have mental health issues, not caused by fentanyl or any drug. It's a failing of our education system and mental health awareness support. That is part of it. That is part of it. But here in Seattle, we have gotten reports that the cartels have infiltrated what's that group that everybody hates? Antifa, and they have infiltrated the homeless camps, and they are giving drugs to the homeless, and they are making them go do runs for them, etc. And well, the smartest things that people here in Seattle say, like the new elect mayor, she doesn't want homeless to be on the street, in with tents. She wants to make mini houses for them. Meaning so that they can have a better roof over their head, and they can have more privacy to do their drugs and whoring and prostitution and whatever else that they are doing out there, just passing disease after disease to each other. It is crazy. The problem with that here in Seattle is that we have places where people can get their free fix of heroin, cocaine, whatever drug they're addicted to. They believe that by giving them controlled amounts is helping them, and eventually they will kick it off. I don't believe on that. If it works, I don't know. I don't believe on that. But I think that people will suffer when they're getting off a drug, and I understand that part. But I mean, who knows? Nobody knows really how to stop homelessness. I think we can always move it somewhere else, but nobody can really stop homelessness. It's just going to keep happening. And then speaking of mental health, the Maha movement has no better friend in Washington than at Susie Wiles, who has supported every effort to end the chronic disease epidemic and restore health freedom to every American. A small number of chaos agents are now targeting Susie out of ignorance or malice. Let's focus on our extraordinary achievements to date and the monumental work that still needs to be done. I refuse to be distracted. Let's build our coalition instead of splintering it. Yeah, there you go. Fall vaccine rollout 1st of September. I don't know about you guys, but every time that I take the flu shot, I get really sick. And, well, let's be honest, I get sick no matter what. So flu shots don't do jack for me. It might work for you, but that will be up to you guys if you want to do that. All right, let me see what else we got. There's skips, not ships. Yeah, there. Okay. Do you know the difference between a skip and a ship? Loki. Antonio says they found Saddam and Bin Laden. I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing and who they are doing it to. Antonio with some truth. Let's see. I just want people to explain to me tariffs are bringing business here. Oh, wait. Now you jump into tariffs? This guy. Wait a minute. This is the Dennis Herrera show. This is not the Loki show. You're going to have to wait your turn, sir. All right. Let's see. You mean gay Tifa? Yeah, that works for me as well, sir. That works for me as well. All right. Let's continue watching this video.
26,000 troops to actually make that happen. So when it comes to this particular operation against Venezuela, we see a major buildup, and certainly with the Gerald Ford, making its way toward Venezuela, it's a very big, use of force. About 100,000 tons actually is the weight of that ship. It's going to be a very big show of force, but it really won't be enough to go after that particular country to affect regime change. So it's kind of in line with what Jim and the other colleagues are reporting, and it is a very big effort that would need to be done to even go after the Venezuelan state, and it would definitely be an escalation if that were to happen.
Yeah. Jim?
Well, just a point on the legal factor here, because as you know, the Trump administration has come up with what it believes to be legal justification for these strikes on drug boats, narco-terrorists, et cetera. Our reporting is that the administration does not yet believe it has the legal justification for military action against the regime. Doesn't mean they won't get there,
right?
But that is yet another hurdle to get over before the president issues such an order.
The legal issues and questions here are so fascinating and in some ways uncharted territory here. And Cedric, just to get to your point, the USS Gerald Ford, which is the country's biggest aircraft carrier in service right now, that's not a weapon you use against these drug boats, correct?
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, it's like taking a sledgehammer to a gnat, and that's that's really the difference when you look at the laws of proportionality to, look at the legal aspect of this, just as Jim was doing. The laws of proportionality in warfare really require you to use proportionate force. This is extra proportionate, to say the least, and it's going to really indicate, to me at least, it indicates that there is an effort to do something else besides going after the narco terrorists that are out there, that are reportedly out there doing
They
this.
just now figure it out.
They need a lot of intelligence justification, and they need to make the connection both internally to the planning process as well as for the public, that this is actually exactly what the mission is, that they're going after the narco traffickers, and that the Venezuelan state is directly connected to those people.
Yep. So these guys don't get it. I mean, they're reporting what they think is the right thing to do, right? I get it. But we know why we're there. We're not playing around. No, we're not going to send just a small ship just to see what happens. No, we need to go over there and overshadow anything that may come our way. These guys obviously don't know how to do war. Let's see. I'll take your word for it, says Dirty Money. Adam says, Weddle says yes. Trinity says, we made a raw materials fentanyl precursors bust off the coast of Mexico. It was a shipment from China. Yeah, we got a lot of the shipments as well coming from Mexico on the California coast as well. Let's see, not the hard shell, the hell out of them, then send the tier 1 units in. Well, I can't wait. I mean, I don't want troops on the ground, but I think that if we don't get troops on the ground, we might not get some of that coverage that we need to get and some intel to give to people that are going to be questioning it, like somebody that came into this chat. I'm just spitting balls out here. Serenity says, Dennis, do you agree with what they're saying? The proportionality of the response to the narco-terrorists is too high, or do you think they should go farther? Yeah, I think that we should overshadow them. I didn't read that before, but I think I answered it already anyway. I think that we need to overshadow and just flex. We got to flex and show them we're not playing. We're not playing around. That's what I believe. So, and remember that if we need to send some airplanes over there, some jets or whatever, we need to have that availability ready to go. Even though Venezuela doesn't have, the new technology and jets or whatever, we're not going to play dumb. They can still hurt us. They can still do some damage. I think we need to flex harder when it comes to that kind of stuff. So let's see. Dirty Money's out. Have a good one, brother. Thanks for stopping by, man. You're always amazing. Appreciate you, bud. Hey, Trinity, does Dirty Money got a channel? I don't know. If he does, can you send me that link to my phone? I'll appreciate it. I think somebody said he had a channel. I'm not sure. Let's see. Adam says at Trinity, very, very rare. The cocaine gets fend added here in the U.S. or in Mexico. Colombia proudly only ships pure products. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Yeah, I don't want the troops there, but I think we might have to. The only thing that I'm actually kind of saddened by is that it's not going to be Nicolas Maduro's army. It's going to be the innocent women, children, and elder that they're going to put in front. And I can guarantee you, if we don't clean up after we take over, they're going to do the same shit that they did over there in the Middle East and take all the AK-47s away from the women and the young teenagers that were killed by American soldiers so that we look bad. The enemy thinks that we're stupid. Not all of us will believe what they tell us. I've seen women and children as young as 8 years old with weapons, and this is how they trained, people to go and be. They lie to them and tell them that it's for their country, but in reality, they're just doing it to defend themselves. They're not really there to help anybody else. Ms. D says America has a God complex. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, I do, but I don't. Gotta dip, y'all. All right. Serenity says, I guess I'm just anti-war, and I thought Trump was going to be as well. Well, if he was pro-war, he would have already taken out Russia and China and North Korea. But that's not what we're doing. We're doing the strategic battles. We're doing the strategic attacks. I mean, you would think 18 warnings, 18 destroyed boats. You would think that this is a clear warning to stop sending boats with drugs towards the United States of America. Okay? Remember, Puerto Rico is very close to them, and that is still part of the United States of America. And if Mexico is not going to do anything to fight this cartel war, well, we got to do it. So since Mexico says that we couldn't do it in Mexico, we got to go to the next place, and that is why we are in the ocean. Okay? That's where I'm at with that. And let's see, I got one more. This one says, this is about Fetterman. Let's take a look and listen to what he actually says. What's going on here, sir?
Deeper look now with the government shutdown over. The big concern is that Democrats will try to do this again at the end of January. And it's exposed the split in that party, and it's growing exponentially. Some Dems now saying it's time to throw out the old and bring in the new.
Ouch.
New Jersey Senator Cory Booker with this. It is time for a new generation of leaders to stand up to Trump and to all those complicit in sabotaging the American dream, end of quote. Across Capitol Hill, progressives are also fed up, but not just with their leadership. Here's Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I think what is so important for folks to understand is that this problem is bigger than one person, and it actually is bigger than the minority leader in the Senate. I think what's important is that we understand that this is not just, a leader is reflected as a reflection of the party. And Senate Democrats have selected their leadership to represent them. And so the question needs to be bigger than just one person.
Well, a dodge from her part, but there are plenty of progressives calling for the removal of Senator Chuck Schumer. Now, maybe she doesn't actually want to say that out loud because she might plan to run against him. And some of those lawmakers willing to do so are all around and on the screen. In focus now, our power panel, Tiffany Smiley, former Senate candidate and Endeavor PAC founder, and Julian Epstein, Democrat strategist. Great to see you both. Julian, I'm going to start with you on the call for the leadership to step down. And they're focused so much on Trump. They do realize that, I mean, a whole new generation for one president?
Well, thanks for having me, Harris. It's not a generational problem. It's a problem of the party being too far left. You know, the far left, Harris, since the French Revolution, has always eaten its own. It's true of the Jacobins in the French Revolution, the Reds in the Russian Revolution, the cultural revolutionaries in Mao. The far left always tries to eat its own. Senator Schumer did exactly what the far left wanted here. The strategy was never going to win. There's no way after winning the House, the White House, the Senate, and the House that the Republicans were going to cede power to the Democrats, especially on something like Obamacare, which has so many flaws. Rather than admitting that the progressives had a bad strategy, what they try to do is purge the moderates who are much closer to the median voter than are the progressives. And this is just part and parcel with the history of the far left doing things that are ultimately just very destructive.
You know, you have consistently been transparent on that. When I've asked even high-profile Democrats, do you think maybe you're not wearing the pants on this one and it's the far left in your party? They never seem to feel outnumbered. What you're saying is they might be, just in terms of how potent these people are.
Because they're scared of the flying monkeys of the online left. That's why.
Flying monkeys. Okay. Democrat Senator John Fetterman, who we know is not afraid to speak up against his own party, wrote this on how he sees both sides of the political aisle. Quote, I've drunk deeply the venom of both the left and the right. And as a connoisseur, I can confirm that the most poisonous, the bitterest, is from the far left. The right tells me I suck and calls me names. The far left calls for my death. He even listed some shocking examples in a recent interview.
On the left, it was like they want me to die, or that we're cheering for your next stroke. Why couldn't it depression won? And I hope your kids find you in your head, cheering at that. Yeah, and they said that, I remember one, they claimed, oh, the doctor let us down, and why did they have to save his life?
Wow.
Tiffany, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, Fetterman has turned into a political hero for both sides of the aisle. And the truth of the matter is that the Democrat Party has become a narrow, single-track party, where the only way to be accepted, like Fetterman was talking about, is to be anti-American, anti-capitalist, and anti-worker. And I think what we're seeing is that the Democrat Party is lost, and they've lost the American people. We saw a handful of them vote to end the charade, where they were willing to inflict harm on the American people for their own political purposes. So I think the Democrat Party is in a full-fledged revolt where they have no idea how to govern or get anything done in Washington, D.C. The truth of the matter is that the majority of Democrats wanted to keep the government shut down. They wanted to inflict pain on millions of Americans, including the most vulnerable, our law enforcement, air traffic controllers, to see them suffer for their own political advantage. So I think we, have to look at it. If the Democrats can't even control the far left radical side of their party, just imagine what they would do if they controlled the House or the Senate going forward.
That's an interesting point. Look, I'm just praying we don't have to go through this all over again at the end of January. I mean, if they've really lost control, then what happens next? Julian, your last quick thought. Maybe you have something to say about that.
I don't think it'll happen. Years ago, the progressives formed their own political parties, the Working Families Party, the Democratic Socialists of America. It's time now for people like John Fetterman to form their own offshoot of the Democratic Party. Call it the Democratic Builders Party. Independents and moderates represent 50%.
But you know how people are and how they vote, though, Julian. I have to push back a bit. You know that they're going to vote party line, and those names, it takes years for that to catch on. Cycles for that to catch on.
Because moderates have not gained the leverage that they have in the electorate. Moderates and independents represent probably 50% of the electorate.
They do.
But they have no way of exercising that power. These moderates should now form their own party. They should be an offshoot of the Democratic Party, the way the Democrats did in places like New York with the Working Families Party. They should caucus with the Democrats when appropriate, and they should threaten third-party runs when the party goes too far left, because that's where the voters are. Until that happens, the moderates are not going to have
Democrats, this is just the beginning.
All right. Well, according to Hakeem Jeffries, you're absolutely right. Great to see you both. Thank you so very much. We'll bring you back.
Thanks, Harris.
Hey, everyone.
It's just the beginning, guys. That's what Obama says. Is just the beginning. And that is the world that we live in today. And well, here's a history of conflict. Trump's impact on Native American communities. You guys ready for this? Oh man, if you got any Trump haters that just came in here, you're gonna love watching this video. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let me see what you guys been saying in here first. Let's see. Political leaders who don't matter, who care. Right back. Okay, Trinity. All right, let's go down. Yeah, this is totally false. Sorry, you just have to be honest with what I'm seeing. What's false? I don't put it together in my timeline here. Liberty for All says, I agree. It has worked on other countries. Make a new party. Yeah. Oh, man, I don't know, man. I don't think that works. Just think about it. You make a new party, but when you look at the voting, you got Republicans and you got Democrats and you got independent, like 1%, 2%. Ghost 40 says, I'm damn near 50% Indian. Let's hear it. Ah man, all the all the Trump haters are warming up for this story right here. Let's find out what they're saying, guys. Let's get it started. Let's get this started.
Asian people, because
Probably.
they just lump them all together.
But this isn't the first time Trump has targeted
as many as possible.
And now even Native Americans, US citizens on sovereign land, are being stopped and questioned.
My name is Callie Oldwell, and my Cree name is Kihuskwe.
Nikanyawi Pies Oasis, Netikatsun.
Estetquag Piesisusqueo. Wapski Kihuskwe and Tikasun. That translates to White Eagle Woman. That's my Cree name.
White Eagle Woman.
This is the Tribe Student Council, Native teenagers who will soon graduate high school. Some will leave to study elsewhere or work. Across the US, new raids and checkpoints are triggering civil rights violations. For these Native youth, it means being caught in the crosshairs of Trump's immigration dragnet.
Being a Native today in the United States of America, especially as an Indigenous woman, is sometimes scary. Going out alone, you can't do that.
By early 2025, more than a...
Now, I really want to try to understand the mentality of how they think that having more deportations is affecting them, and to say that you put especially Indian Native woman, especially woman, it's not safe to go out there. What do they think that the ICE agents are doing? They're just grabbing women and just what do they think they're doing? It sounds to me like they're being fear-mongered into what's going on around them. You see the terrain that they live on. You see how they complain about they're lacking this, they're lacking that. I mean, I believe that our native tribes should be taken care of. But when you start hearing little commentaries like that, it sounds like they're not teaching them to work together with everybody else. If there's one thing that I have noticed about the Indian reservations, it's a lot of people inside the Indian reservations, they still don't like the white man. They don't like the law of the United States of America, and they become rebellious towards that. And I will say this, if you misbehave, you will be arrested. If you are in your ancestral land and you're a native, you live in the reserves, I get it. That's your sovereignty, and the government knows better than to go in there. There has been a lot of stories and documentations of conflicts between Indian tribes and also Indian tribes with the actual government, federal FBI agents who actually have access to the rest, local police, counties, etc. That if they're Native American, they are registered as Americans, period. If they go out on the street and they get targeted because they look Mexican, for example, well, show your papers and you're good. But if you start to go out there and be like, no, you don't need to see my papers, well, you know what? You have to understand that we had an invasion in this country. And because of that invasion, everybody is affected by it. And if those people are in here that support illegal immigration, you are part of the problem. If you would have had our borders secured, we wouldn't have had millions and millions of illegal immigrants coming in here, not only to make it bad for Americans, but also to other migrants that have permissions to be in this country. I got a lot of Native Americans as my subscribers, and we all agree with everything that we're seeing. So it's okay to listen to documentaries and stuff like that. But let's be honest, there is nothing in here from the beginning, right? Remember, President Donald Trump has been in administration this 1 year. They've been going through these problems for years, okay? And just because illegal immigrants have been getting away with in the last 4 years, it doesn't mean that we're going to continue to allow that, okay? Let me see. Let me read a couple of comments, give you guys a chance here to communicate. Let me see. Stay on subject. We're not going to keep talking about Epstein files. If you missed it, you missed it. Maybe next time that we start the show, we'll bring it up again. And if you want to demand the question to be answered, put a super chat. Stop being cheap and demanding. Sound like a leftist person on Snap. Frank Mendes, because they are getting racially profiled. And I agree with that. And if it wasn't because of the invasion, I would be totally against it. But because of the invasion, I think it's necessary. We're not going to play stupid. If you look Mexican, chances are you are illegal. If you look like me, maybe you are illegal. What I'm saying is this. If I get pulled over and I have my license, well, here's my license, sir. Here's my registration. Here's my insurance. I have my ID with me at all times. So you got to have your documentation so that you can prove who you are. You're so entitled and so used to not being asked to identify yourself. I understand that. But we have an invasion. That's the key word, invasion, in our country. And as Americans, we are supposed to abide by the law and we're supposed to help them as much as we can. Why? Because we want our laws respected. Unless you don't want the laws respected, you will be against what I just said. And so that's where we will disagree. You have to profile by the looks. They look Hispanic. Hey, you're in an area where, we have noticed that there was a group of people that came here. We need to verify you are who you are. As simple as that. Okay? If it wasn't for the invasion, I will be with you guys right now. But because of that, I'm not going to. Let's see. Plymouth Rock landed on them. Jaime, you're being a smart ass. Let's see. I know right after she released her book, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Ghost says they should be, but the big problem is the funding goes to the chiefs and the elders while everyone starves and schools falling apart while they spend it. Oh, bro, Ghost. Bro, you're going to get in trouble, man. But that is true. That is true. And that is the problem with any type of government. It doesn't matter if you think that the natives are, oh, the holiest people of the righteous land. No. If the leaders are corrupted, that's how it works. We have sent millions of dollars to Honduras, to presidents, and the people didn't get jack squat. But the presidents and the government, they live in mansions. That's how it works. That's how everything works. You have bad leaders, that's how it works. Here in the United States of America, what are the bad leaders that we have? The ones that keep raising taxes on us. Let's see. So to some of you guys that are in here, if you don't understand what I'm saying, I apologize. But I'm not going to sit here and argue with your accusations. If you don't agree, if you don't believe what I say, you can just disagree and leave. You don't have to sit here and start insulting me. If you disagree with me, I get it. You can leave. Unless you want to give me a fact, not just, a basic opinion of something. I tell you what I see that is happening. I tell you what I know from our natives here in Washington State. I know how they act. And a lot of these teenagers, they act entitled. When I used to work at the Tulalip Casino as a security. Now, mind you guys, I am a native from Central America. I'm not a native from here. I remember I heard on the radio, there's a disturbance. And I went out there to see this disturbance. What was the problem? Well, this group of young adults were drinking. They were they were cut off. And give me a second, Cutting. They were told that they're cut off and that if they drink again, if they get caught drinking, they will get kicked out. Okay? Well, they got caught drinking again. So they got kicked out. And I felt bad because the other security officers were white people. Right? And I can't stand it when somebody's acting a fool and they're getting away with it. It bugs me. It just bugs me. So I go up there and I said, what's the problem? And I was like, oh, yeah, what's been going on the radio. Okay, so these are the people that got cut off from alcohol. Now, mind you, I'm the lead. I said, these are the people that got cut off from the alcohol? Yeah, okay. Hey, well, you got to go. And then this girl was arguing with this white lady because there's white people. She was going off on her. And she was going off on her. And the first thing that she said to try to defend herself, and I was there when she said it, and she says, I am Native American. And I said, I don't give a shit. You give shame to the tribes of the Native Americans, acting like a freaking kid, acting like a fool, not handling your alcohol. Get the hell out of this casino. You are not welcome here. Oh, I'm going to complain. You go ahead and complain to the Indian tribunal courts. You do what you got to do. So what? I said, I'm Native as well. So what does that mean? That I get to act like a fool and act stupid and rebellious and not listening to the rules that are being placed in our casino? Oh, how dare you? I don't give a crap who you think you are. You're misbehaving. You're going to have some respect. And man, all the white people, they looked at me like, what the hell, this guy? And you know what? The reservation police came. The Tulalip police came over. And I told them. And you know what they did? They arrested them. And they said, you got to leave this property or I will arrest you. Well, a couple of them didn't want to. They got arrested. And that little spoiled little brat that said that she was Native, she was half Native with half Filipina or some type of Asian country. And it's just like, dude, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, from experience, I can tell you that these people, when they feel entitled, like, oh, this is my country. Man, there's laws. Respect the laws. Even in the rest, there's laws. There's rules. Respect the rules. That doesn't mean anything to me. What I want is for you to be fair and to be righteous. If you're not fair or just, there's going to be problems. And there's consequences and repercussions, and nobody wants that. So I don't care which tribe, if you're Navajo, if you're Apache, I don't care which tribe you are claiming to be native of. That doesn't give you the right to be an asshole to nobody. Just like when we have freedom of speech, it doesn't give you the right to be an asshole to me. Period. So that's why when I speak of something like that, I speak from my own experience. Okay? Now, nobody asked me if I was native from here, so I didn't have to tell them. But I am native from Central America. You can judge my white skin, that's on you. You want to be racist and prejudiced, that's on you. But that is the truth. All right, Cutting Edge, thanks for the super chat, my friend. Says something we need to talk is the similarity of the market to the crash of 2008. The 50 years mortgage is not good. I agree. People don't pay the credit card debts. The young generation needs to work double. If not, we're done for good. I do agree with, thank you, Robert. I do agree with, if it helps, my balls are brown. But I do agree with the 50-year mortgage. I don't think that's a good idea. I know Trump is I think Trump is the one that supports the 50-year mortgage. I mean, how can I even make an excuse? Why do we have a 30-year? Why do you lease a car? Hey, Ken, what's up, buddy? Why do we lease a car for 48, 72 months? Why do we not lease it for 12? I mean, I'm sorry, why don't we buy a car and finance it, not lease it, sorry. Why don't we finance it for 12 months? Well, because the price is going to be expensive, okay? Now, I think that the taxes, yeah, exactly, Ken. I think the taxes makes a big difference, right, on loans. So in the end, yes, they will make more money. But what is the benefit? The benefit is that, see, Robert is part Sioux and Blackfoot. There you go. See, it's not, yeah, refinancing is different. But if you're financing and you want lower payments, right, bigger down payment, of course, or you can have a longer term and pay less. Because there's a 15-year fixed rate for housing, right, for loans. If you want to pay a higher mortgage rate, you can do that. But most people can't. So they end up paying more money on their loan. There is people that will pay for 30 years. They pay for the price of the house double time, you know? And so 50 years, I mean, dang, bro, if I go get a mortgage for 50 years, I'm never going to be able to pay it out, bro. I don't got 50 years left to live. If anything, I got a couple of decades. If God allows, maybe 2-3 decades, that's it. And I'm out of this world. So, and there's a lot of older people than me that will feel the same way, you know? So that's too much. I don't know. I don't agree with it, but if somebody wants to use it to save money, let's be honest, okay? Let me give you this one tip and see if it makes sense to you, okay? The way that the states are doing, the way that the government is doing with raising property taxes, it doesn't make me hopeful that I'll ever be able to own a house. The way that the property taxes are being implemented on there is a big burden for the people. So if you buy a house with a very low mortgage, payment, right? You probably never owned a house, and that's okay. And that's okay, unless you want to leave something for your kids, right? But that's okay if you can pay less by having a mortgage than renting a house. well, we'll get into that mortgage and do your 50 years. And I think that will be enough for me. Now, here's the problem. If I do that, there is also what we call a death tax. There is also an inheritance tax. And they're all ridiculous taxes because I already paid taxes on all the money that I made. Why am I getting taxed again? I already bought the house with the interest, with the taxes for the house. Why am I still paying taxes on the house? I already paid for it. Right? So there you go. So there's your positive and your negatives. If you are in a state where, there's no property taxes, there's no inheritance tax, then yeah, go ahead, own the house and then leave it to your kids, and they will not have to pay the taxes on it. There will be no taxes for them to pay. I think that way is worth it. Let me see. Some of you guys are talking about this already. Okay, so Adam says 50 years is 600 months. If you buy a house at 35, it won't be paid until you're 85 if you make it that far, my friend. And then Trinity is Cherokee and Choctaw and a little white. Mike says, but let's be real, this is for low-income people. Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, they're never going to own it. That's just the way it is, guys. We're never going to be owning it. Let me see. What else says? Took me 23 years to pay off my house. Bro, at least you paid it off, man. I paid off my house, but ex owns it. Bueno, no manches. Bueno, man. That's not your house, bro. That is not your house, man. All right. Cutting Edge says, that's why Trump stopped the free tuition in college. And we have a debt on that of $1.7 trillion. But Biden, forgive the debt, guys. It's just another $1.7 trillion. It's not a big deal. I mean, we all need artists. Nothing useless came out of those loans, by the way. I hope some actually were. I'm generalizing. Again, I'm exaggerating. Let's see. Mike says, but if it's cheaper than rent, what are you losing? Mike, exactly. I'm sorry I'm reading the comments late, guys. But I have to stay on point on what I say so I don't forget. Let's see. Robert says, I paid one off in 15, then sold it because of the headaches of ownership. That sucks. Bernard says, I own 2. That compound interest on the idiotic 50 loan is going to create generational debt. Possibly. Yeah, probably, most likely, to be honest. Let's see. Trinity says, if it's the only way our young, struggling adults can afford a mortgage and get out from under renting, I'd be okay with it. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But older people's homeowners insurance will be outrageous on a 50-year. I think there's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of positives. I mean, it just depends on how you want to see it. But being that I was in the leasing apartments and the real estate industry, I can tell you that one of the catches for us being able to lease apartments to people, because they will come in and, oh my God, this is so expensive, and the only thing that we had was, well, it's just for 1 year. But if you go buy a house, you're going to be stuck between 15 to 30 years. And if you can't afford to pay the mortgage, you lose your house. And that's why it's more beneficial to rent. At least that's what we were talking about. So let's continue listening to our little Native American documentary. Just take it with a grain of salt, okay? I know I have a lot of Native Americans on here, but let's listen to what they say. We also know we're MAGA. We know that we want to make America great again. A lot of us know the history of our natives, and we also know where we are today and what has happened to our country lately. So I know things are not going to be fair for a lot of people, but we need to stay together and help as much as we can. All right? Here we go.
Dozen reports started piling up. immigration agents, ICE, were stopping and detaining Native Americans across Arizona and New Mexico.
So when that came about, our tribal chairman, he also put out a notice for all of the tribal members to carry the ID.
Oh, I will point out, just a disclaimer, just so that you guys know, a lot of illegal immigrants do go onto the rest, and some of my Native brothers have complained about that as well. But what are they supposed to do? What are the Indians on the rest are supposed to do when you have a lot of illegal immigrants, going into the rest? I mean, I'm not sure why the rest is not kicking them out or etc. But the point is that there's a lot of illegal immigrants that have gone into the rest, into the Indian reservations, and that's why they're having this problem as well.
And it wasn't too soon, like after that, there was Border Patrol coming onto our reservation and parking in areas. After that, me and my family, we took precautions, and I even have a passport now too. So
Other
Good
tribes
job.
we spoke to say Border Patrol agents in plain clothes.
Good job. She also got a passport. That is good to hear. Good girl. Well, I mean, they're not happy with it still, but I mean, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do to protect yourself.
Are now showing up at places like gas stations, asking questions, demanding papers. No warning, no warrant.
So who does ICE detain? Anybody they suspect. I think they would detain natives. They would detain.
I think she says
Hispanic people, and they would probably detain Asian people because they just lump them all together.
Here in the Chippewa Cree Student Council, the impact hits
so
home.
pretty.
I don't know, some of my family from down south, from the Navajo Nation, they get asked a lot by any law enforcement saying do you have proof that you're from the United States?
I felt really scared to leave because we don't have as much protection under Native Americans as we do here on the reservation. It's just sad to see that, and to be scared to go out into a world that we should call our own.
To avoid harassment or worse, detention by ICE, tribal members are advised to carry their tribal ID at all times, even though no U.S. state requires anyone to carry ID.
Very good. As a matter of fact, it is mandatory for Native tribe members to actually have a tribal ID card with them at all times. Even if you're a teenager, at all times, because that's how they recognize in the rest that you are part of their tribe. See, the reservation doesn't just look at you and be like, oh, you look Indian enough. Yeah, you look like one of us. Yeah, okay. No, if they ask you to identify, you gotta show them that ID from the reservation. Period. There's no ins, whats, or nothing. No buts or anything about it. You gotta show it. Now, one thing that I overlooked in here, the cutting edge just actually became the stream boss of the chat, and you know what time that is. We're almost done, but we're going to listen to this documentary. We'll finish that up. And to my Patriot Americans and MAGA supporters, enjoy the dance. This is true. One of the biggest problems that we have in with natives is alcoholism. Some say that that's actually some weakness from some type of Asian descendancy that they have. This guy is married. Look at that. Chippewa Cree tribe. Am I right? At least here from what I know in the tribes, they are all supposed to have a tribal ID. All of them. Every single one of them.
By law. But racial profiling isn't their only concern. Many of Trump's recent policies are hitting reservations where it already hurts. Healthcare, education, and federal support. For over 2 centuries...
As I said, guys, yes, you can call eyes on me. I got my documentation. I suggest that everybody has that documentation as well. That's how you avoid problems.
Hundreds of treaties were signed between the tribes and the US government. Agreements that promised land, healthcare, education, and support in exchange for peace and territory.
There's been 597 treaties made with Indians. Not one of them was broke by an Indian.
But under Trump, those treaties are being quietly dismantled. Agencies slashed, funding stripped, critical programs left to die. Now tribal leaders are asking, why is Trump coming after Indian country again?
We're standing here at a casino, and this is where it all started. Donald Trump's problem with the Native Americans is not new. It started way back in the 90s. When he was trying to establish his own casino empire, his biggest competition were the Indian-run casinos.
By the late 80s, Trump's casino business was bleeding cash. The market was saturated and competition was brutal. But the biggest threat? Native-owned casinos. They didn't pay federal taxes. They operated under tribal sovereignty, and they were booming. Trump tried to shut them down.
So, I find that very interesting. So yes, okay, so the casinos don't pay federal taxes. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money they don't have to pay, right? So why did Trump use the loopholes in our tax system? Well, they don't have to pay taxes, but we do. And yes, that casino was, it was a big loss for him. But nonetheless, I don't think the Indian casinos were the competition, like they say. Let's not forget, okay, let's be honest. Let's not forget that they hated Donald Trump because of, you guys remember the whole deal with, what do you call that? The pipeline. You guys remember that? Oh, Saltwater, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Patriotism. The pipeline, they made a big fuss about it. They went on strike. They called the Donald Trump, you're breaking the treaties and this and that. You know what? Sometimes people can be a little bit too over-righteous about things, and they don't appreciate that there has to be some type of evolution in order for this country to get better. They complain about water not being accessible. Well, shit, if you allow them to build some pipes for you guys to get some water as well, if you allow to be taught by them instead of just hating the white men at all costs, I mean, come on, man, you got to do something. Stop playing this righteous thing. I'm native. No, man, you got to play with others. You got to be able to trade. You got to be able to interact. Your people are dying because you are not allowing the help that you need. It's very simple, and I think that that is very stupid that they actually go and blame Donald Trump for that. That's okay. They can do that, whatever. But you have to look at the problems that they have in the actual reservations. It has nothing to do with the president. It has nothing to do with our government, whether Republican or Democrat. But if we need projects to be able to keep this country afloat and keep making it better and better, we need to evolve with technology. We need to have access to these lands. And if you want to just destroy your people and then maybe just not help with the economy, maybe there's some changes to some of those treaties that need to happen. That's just where I'm at with that right now.
Filing lawsuits, claiming unfair competition. He lost, So he took his fight to Congress. There, he accused tribal casinos of being tied to organized crime. He even questioned whether Native Americans were even native enough to qualify for special protections.
I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like the Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians.
Thank God that's not the test of whether or not people have rights in this country or not, whether or not they pass your look test.
Depends whether, yeah.
When Congress brushed him off,
says the white man. Wait, what do they say all the time? If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Okay, yeah. You also profile, you hypocrites. Not you guys, people out there.
Trump escalated. He launched a smear campaign, spending over $1 million on attack ads. But nothing he did defeated the tribal gambling houses. So a few years later, Trump changed tactics. In the early 2000s, he struck a deal with the Palm Springs Indians. Trump rebranded the tribe's casino, naming it after himself. For a while, it worked. But then Trump's casino empire started to crumble, and the Palm Springs Indians cut him loose, buying out his contract for $6 million. They dropped his name from the building, and just like that, Trump was out.
The Palm Springs Indians turned him down. They didn't want to do business with him. Anytime you disagree with him, you're on his hit list. You're an enemy of his, I reckon.
Native tribes are sovereign nations. They've got their own laws, tribal councils, and the right to self-rule. But they rely on the federal government for one thing.
We depend on federal funding just about every program we've got. We're not self-sufficient. Poverty is...
You hear that? They are not self-sufficient. Now, yet they want to keep everything that they want to believe in, and they don't want to help us to get this country and our tribes to become better. But it's just easier to blame somebody else. It's just easier to hate somebody else instead of working with them. How ungrateful are the people that they know that they depend on somebody and they still trash them down? You can disagree with Trump and, you can have your disputes. And, we're talking about Trump from 30, 40 years ago, and you're still bringing that up in here today. I get it. That's all right. I get it. But if you're still dependent, you're not self-sufficient. Imagine that. That to me has been my biggest argument with people. That if it wasn't for the United States of America, if it wasn't for our government, the natives will be extinct in this world today. If it wasn't because of what the United States has gone through in history, they would be extinct today. Somebody will be speaking a different language right now. We are who we are today. It doesn't matter what the past has made us. We are the people today. And their country's looking desolate. This is why they kept migrating. This is why they didn't have a specific area all the time. They kept migrating. But if they learn that we are one people today, they will be better off. Hey, you can hate me and say whatever you want, but that's what I believe, and that's what I see. And so I think that there's better ways for them to go about it. The white man doesn't have to bow down to these guys anymore. I hate it when people, white people, specifically white people, this white guilt that they carry, is stupid people. It got nothing to do with the history on that. We're all the same today. It's funny how we can reach out and say, you're my brother, but then these guys can't do the same. I know a lot of natives that believe as I do. Well, and that's why we are free. Yeah, I know Trinity, but a lot of people don't know, or they don't want to believe, or they ignore. But they, look what infrastructure they have created in the reservations besides the casinos. Nothing. It's a shithole. It's like a ghetto welfare country. There's nothing amazing, no great infrastructure in the reservations. They live like a third world country because they want to live like a third world country. They have chosen to live that life. That's their choice. These kids will have better educations, better schools. They would have a better city. It doesn't have to be a huge, buildings. But man, it would be a better town. See, if it wasn't for the white men coming to this country, infrastructure here would be shit. And as I always tell the people, I have always told people, if you believe that the white man is evil and they came and did all this blah, 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 okay, think whatever you want. I want you to go to an Indian reservation in eastern Washington. Go to Toppenish. Go see how beautiful that town is. There's no life there. There's no life there. Man, I don't know. Maybe because I've only gone there in the summertime, but there's no life there. And they don't want the white man's help. So, there's that. Now, yeah, no skyscrapers. No skyscrapers. That's what I was looking for. So that's, I think, different than most people, guys. And yes, I'm gonna get the push from people. Oh, you don't know history. Oh, this what? No, man. History is what it is. The Spokane Res is the present. Trailers, no homes, so many broken down cars. Absolutely, and that's what you're gonna most likely find on any Indian reservation. I believe that the culture is beautiful. Of course, let's maintain that. I love that they speak the language. Just like when I say hello to my Navajo brothers, ayate, ayate. You do that from your heart. You say hello to them, and it's nice. It's beautiful that they have those things to cling on for culture. Their food. They have their own food. They don't have to eat Mexican food all the time. They don't have to eat American. They have their own food. They have their own way of eating. Whether we like it or not, that might be different. But that's different. Again, they are living this way because they choose to live that way. You see, there's people that don't like change. They want to say this is holy land, and they don't want to build anything to help the people, and yet they bitch and complain about the white man trying to do something on the land that's going to help them and is going to help us. Salt says, go to Reno, Nevada, go to the Pyramid Lake. It's beautiful. That's a reservation. I support what they do for their community, but let's not forget the government gives every one of them a check every month. Exactly.
It's always been a problem in the Native American communities. They put us out here in the middle of nowhere, and closest town's 30, 40 miles away, and it just, I don't know, that kind of isolated us.
This next door.
So closest town is 30 to 40 miles away. What, you need a store? Why don't you make one? Why don't you gather all your people and build a town? Well, you depend so much on the white man, but you're saying all these nasty things about the white man. Do something for your people. Amazon, man, I wish that they would work better. I would say this: the reservation here is still bad, but it's surrounded by forest because of the Northwest, right? Surrounded by forest, and some people do a good job, with their families and everything. But a lot of people, they gamble too much. They waste all the federal money that they get. They don't save. They don't build their houses to be better. They don't make their communities better. They become drug addicts. You know why? Because they don't have to work. So they become alcoholics. Their blood can't handle it. So they destroy their lives because they don't have to work. They get a lot of money every month. And all they can think about, drugs, alcohol, and then make a bunch of babies because you don't know how to make a commitment to a woman. So Native Americans receive checks from the U.S. government and will for the entirety of their life. And that's right. That's reparations. Not sure how I feel on that, but I'm glad they get it. Don't cry about it. Yeah, I agree. And we're not crying about it. What we want is to see that they do something for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this Navajo lady. I met her when I was doing my taxes. And she says that she doesn't get the money. But she says that some of her family members do because they are actually in the tribe land. And that they wouldn't lose that benefit if they work. But they don't want to work. They're just happy with whatever they get. And that's it. So there you go. Drinking. That is their favorite fruit. They become alcoholics. And you have casinos. There is a no-win solution. You give them free money. Check this out. And this is what President Trump was. Well, he was a business guy back then. He was bitching about it. That is not fair. So you get this federal money with taxes that he's paying as well. You get this federal money to the Indian tribes, and then they go and spend all the federal money to make money for the casinos to keep them alive and going. And then the casino takes part of that and gives it back to the native tribes. And then they keep making a profit. So they get money from the federal government. They give the free money to the Indians. And then the Indians come into the casino, spend their money, and then they make the profit from other foreigners coming into the casino to make money. And that's how they stay afloat. So the casinos is a very unfair for a businessman like he was going through, right? Because the casino gets federal funding because of the money that they give to the tribe people. And then on top of that, they don't have to pay taxes. Wow. Federal taxes, right? That's crazy. All right, let's see what else Bad Trump said.
Order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
That's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
Just 2 months into office, Trump questioned native birthright citizenship, a right granted in 1924.
No, that is not true. Did I hear that right? Somebody in the chat tell me if that is not true. What he's talking about is illegal immigrants making children on this land, right? That's how I know it, and that's what I agree with.
The president is using every lever.
His administration argued tribal allegiance made them less American.
The immigration laws of our country.
It's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential.
Then came the budget cuts, targeting climate programs that protect sacred lands.
Yeah, no, we are not going to give money to that. We are not going to fucking waste money on that, on climate change. Would it be possible that some Indian tribes live better than others because some tribes only care for their own tribes, but not others? So there's an association of Indians here in Washington. If you don't qualify enough to be actual member of a tribe, you don't get benefits. Even if you're 50%, they can't confirm that. It doesn't matter. You are not part of the tribe. And that's what it is, okay? So they do have their high council with the high chiefs, And they talk about their tribes. It's just like governors. It's the same as our system, but only Indians can be in it. And I mean, they can call, obviously they talk with the governors and president, etc. But they're made. I mean, they're sovereign land. It's their sovereign land. So it's like they're little mini countries in our country, and they get to decide what happens to the tribes. Unfortunately, that's the problem. They know they depend on the government, and yet they talk so much bad crap about the government. This whole thing about climate change and all this stuff. This is all about the pipe that was going through. I don't like that they lied about this birthright citizenship. If you're a Native American, you got your documentation that you belong to a tribe, etc. You are American. Period. If no, easy. You don't know what the hell Indian means. If you don't know what the hell Indian means, shut up. We are Indian. They're just stupid people have put in their minds that they're Native Americans. What the hell makes you Native American? Explain that one to me. How are my kids born here in America not Native Americans? Anyway, I don't know why I'm going to sit there and argue with idiot people. Anyways, let's continue listening to it. Let's see what else they have.
And traditional food sources. Centuries of displacement already reshape native diets. Now, food sovereignty programs, vital for survival and culture, are on the chopping block.
We think of the bald eagle when we think about the most iconic animal in the United States. But their national mascot and their national animal is the American bison. Once driven to extinction, it's now slowly coming back because of the efforts of Native American nations like the Chippewa Cree, who are trying to bring the American buffalo back. But they depend on federal funding to do so.
Again, isn't it great that they are able to find for an awesome cause? They're fighting for this great land that they have, and this is so beautiful, and they go back to the same damn thing. We need federal funding. Son bitch. It's like these guys are Democrats. These guys are socialists. They think others are supposed to pay them for what they want to do. No, if you can't survive in the land, guess what that means? Get with the program. Join us. Stop acting and pretending like you have this big sovereignty, but you don't even know how to take care of it. What do you have it for? Indians means in God's people. We are Indians. You can't tell me what I am or what I'm not. You can call yourself whatever you want. But, yeah, they need federal fundings. They need the American government. And yet, they are the victims. Right. Let me tell you what John, this is my job. And I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for supporters like the ones that support me on this channel. But thank you for offering. With that being said, John, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one, buddy. That's my problem. That's my biggest problem. Can't they find it with their... Oh, Scott, man. You see what I'm saying? Now, you know what I find very interesting is this, that there is so many people, and I'm glad that there's more. There's so many people that agree with the way that I view things. And then the very few that come in here just, they don't get it. They don't get it. That's right. I see many buffaloes still. They are not extinct. So they are running an effort to let the bisons, multiply. They're not in extinction anymore. They're not in danger of extinction anymore. But what I'm getting at is this, that they want to do all of these things as if they have it because they are working hard for it. No, they just get it because they're native. They're entitled. No, I'm sorry, but I don't believe in that. Time's back. Oh boy, you know what? I think time. You have been really good with me, brother. Time, I'm going to give you a wrench. Get rid of morons on the chat. There's not that many. It's just one or two. But let's continue listening.
Current administration pulls the plug, the American buffalo might die out all over again.
We are on Rocky Boys Indian Reservation here in Rocky Boy, Montana, and we are on...
Hey, look, all that land right there is theirs. They don't need nothing back. That's theirs right there. No, yeah, that's it.
The Buffalo Ranch, name of the Buffalo Ranch is a Buffalo Child Ranch. The front bull there is going to be the older one out of all of them. You could tell he's older. You could tell by the size of his head. He's a much larger bull than the other four that's there. My English name is Theron Oates. My Indian name, my Native American name that my grandfather gave me is Stands on Eagle's Ground.
Talk to us about this program. What are you trying to achieve with it?
So with our buffalo program, we are trying to achieve to where we are getting the buffalo meat back into the diets of our people. So the buffalo is everything to us. They gave us food, clothing, and then furs and hides for our lodges, to follow them. One of the policies was to eradicate the buffalo to kind of help conquer the Native Americans.
Do you receive help from the federal government or enough help?
Yeah, we do.
Daryl's hesitation says a lot. On reservations, speaking too openly about federal neglect can come with consequences.
Oh, please.
For the Chippewa Cree, building food security is just one part of the fight. The other is water. They're surrounded by dry prairie. Out here, every drop matters.
My name's Martin Watson. My Indian name is White Eagle. I represent the tribe out at the treatment plant.
Martin is overseeing a massive project, a water pipeline and treatment plant that could finally bring clean running water to the reservation. We drive with him to the construction site. The pipeline spans more than 50 miles, but it's still years from completion. The tribe has been fighting for this for over 2 decades.
They built this to get water here to our reservation because our water system ain't very good right now. We're pretty much in dire need of it because when drought season comes, we have to really watch our water, maintain our water system. The water we have on the res ain't nothing like that water out there. I wouldn't drink it. I don't.
But the entire project depends on federal support. And with Trump pushing to cut environmental protection.
Again, they will be extinct if it wasn't for the federal government. They will be extinct.
And tribal infrastructure budgets, tribes could lose the funds to protect their voter rights.
Every president was on board that got elected. They never did shoot this project down.
What about now?
It's hard to say with the commander-in-chief.
Nice, Scott.
So where are we? What is this beautiful?
That's Lake Elwell, and we're kind of on the top of Tiber Dam, this is called.
Martin takes us to...
That is the problem, Ghost. You're 100% right, brother. 100%. I have the pleasure of meeting my Navajo family here that sponsored me here for a year. I live with them, and they never talk bad about the government or the white man. I mean, they took me in. Well, I'm Hispanic, right? But they took me in, and I mean, they took me like family. So I don't know. They were not being taught to be hateful towards white men. Matter of fact, they feel equal in every way. Never saw any prejudice or racism growing with the Navajos here in Washington. I mean, I don't know what it's like that today, but I can tell you by the story from the casino that entitled half Native American was talking shit to people just because they were white, but she was she was in the wrong, and I had to put her in her place. I really don't understand why they're like that. Excuse me, I know a lot of literally warriors, native warriors, that are so wise. Even the way they talk, they're educated. You know, they stand tall, great personality. It is totally different than when you see from some of the people. They look defeated, and they hate the people that they depend on. That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. Yeah, you're right. You know, reteach them all, starting in kindergarten. It's just their cheeks, man. They're hard headed, and they've been teaching the next generation the same damn thing. They don't teach them to work together. They don't want to lose their color. They don't want to lose their culture. They don't want to mix with white. They don't want to mix with anybody. I get it, but guess what? We're all mutts by now. I mean, let's not forget, these guys are ancient Asian descent, right? I'm just saying, we got to fix it. And the only way that they can fix it is to get rid of some ideologies that do not work. Fake religious beliefs that they have that don't work. They need to change. They can still keep the reservation rights and they can still keep everything else, but they got to change. You cannot stay that way. This is what happens when you don't want to change. Depending on the government and still talking smack about the government. Unbelievable.
The Tiber Dam, a frozen reservoir set aside for the Chippewa Cree by President Clinton back in the late 90s. This is where the water treatment plant will get its water from. With this project, it's not just water at stake, but a major source of employment.
On our pipeline crews is 100% Native American.
Martin's one of the few with a stable job. Native Americans face some of the highest unemployment rates in the country, with this tribe alone seeing over 60% unemployment in recent years.
We get looked past a lot. I've seen it with my own eyes, people qualified to do the job and others picked.
I think what keeps natives pure is not that they stay with the same look. Is that they hold their culture, that they hold their language, and their love for the way that they raise their family, that culture. It's good, but there's religious beliefs that they're just not true, and if they don't want to get rid of them, I understand that. I agree with that, but. Mike says, my family's been in this country for almost 300 years. I've got about 5 different bloodlines in me. Yeah, but you can still be native. That's fine. You want to be a native, that's fine. But, that's really your color doesn't determine who you are. It's what you believe in, right? Now, when I talk about religious things, it's like, there's a lot of witch doctors out there. That's a religion as well. That practice can be a religious thing. I'm talking about just the good things. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what they should keep.
In front of them that ain't qualified to do the job, and that's probably a big reason why, is who we are.
100%, Jacob.
And how we've been looked at for generations.
Did you get that?
Is who we are and how.
Listen to what he said.
In front of them that ain't qualified to do the job, and that's probably a big reason why, is who we are and how we've been looked at for generations.
And I want to point out, that's not who they are. They are better than what they've been told that they are. And they are not less than anybody else. I don't care what they taught them. They are not less. And that's their leaders' fault. their elders' fault. To teach them to think that way, to think victim, to think that they are nothing. That's their own fault. I'll be teaching them that they're stronger than what people say. Where is that pride? Where is that native pride? Where is that fight? That's not real native right there, my friend. Sorry, they have diluted the essence of of Indians.
He runs a non-profit that is trying to revive the language.
We haven't produced any fluent speakers in over 50 years, and we only have about 80 fluent Cree speakers left. None of our children speak our language. None of them. Since they couldn't eliminate us, they plan to assimilate, to put us into the mainstream society. And one of the ways they did that was to eliminate our language, because our language is our identity. That's who we are. The language is the key to everything that we are.
Trump just declared English the only official language of the US, a first in the nation's history. It comes as tribal nations are racing to save their ancestral languages. Over 175 still spoken today.
Usagana Iskoisis. That's my name in Cree.
The Indigenous Language Institute warns that without federal support, most could vanish by 2050. And with them, entire cultures and histories.
And each reservation has their own language. We're all unique. That's one of the things that the president is trying to take away by his executive order of English as official.
How? Yo hablo español. I speak Spanish. How does that making English the official language by executive order taking your language away? That's the stupidest, most ignorant thing I've heard from his mouth right now. No disrespect, old man. Seriously, this is what they teach them. They can speak their language. They can do whatever they want. But English is the only language that I know to communicate with them. If they don't speak English, how are we going to communicate? That's the whole idea about speaking English, so that everybody can understand and communicate. You can go ahead and learn your native language. I think it's awesome. Fantastic. I think it's phenomenal. And you should fight to bring it back. But guess what? Your children don't want to learn it. They don't want to learn it. And how is that language going to help them out in the world? None. Unless you plan that they live with you all the time, and that's the only place where you're going to be. Being English, being the official language, doesn't mean that all the languages are out. No. It just means that you have to speak English. You can speak Spanish, Japanese, Russian, you can speak anything, but you definitely have to mandatorily speak English. And I'm 100% with that. What he said right there is not true.
Language.
The prayer is in our lifetime to hear one of our own babies speak our language as their first language.
That's fair.
The Chippewa Cree are one of over 500 federally recognized tribes fighting just to exist in today's America. Systemic challenges, political threats, but still, they hold their community close.
The whole Chippewa Cree comes together as a community, men and women, and they're preparing the sport called roping. And this weekend they're about to go in and compete in the sport where they have to rope a cattle or a calf and to tie it in. So would you say you are a cowboy?
I'd say I'm a cowboy. I swing a rope.
Wait, he's a cowboy? What?
Rope, I ride a horse, I wear a cowboy hat, I enter rodeos. I'd say I'm a cowboy.
There you go.
Dancers Gigi and Alyssa say the tribe's strength comes from within, from holding on to who they are, no matter what's taken away.
We don't need all this money and this and that. As long as we can continue to keep our traditional ways of life, that's how I see our tribe thriving, even if anything else is taken away.
This is your land. You're here first. Don't quit. Don't ever give up. That's my message.
As long as the grass grows and rivers flow and the sun shines, we'll be here.
We're still here. We're gonna be here forever.
That one looked black to me. That one boy looked black to me. He didn't look native. It's a touchy subject, guys, and you can see it however you want to see it. I see it the way I see it. I think that for people here, let me ask this Mexican guy in here, what is the official language of Mexico? What's Mexico's official language? Yeah. Listen, I love my Native Americans. I love all of our Indians. I really do. I feel a connection with them because of nature. But you have to be realistic. The people that suffer are the ones that don't want to adapt to change. It is that simple. Assimilate. It's not a bad thing. Assimilate. It's not a bad thing. If anything, if you fight for equality, if you fight for all these things that you think is righteous, you would agree with us. Assimilate. 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 All right, guys. Well, that's what I got for you guys today. Thanks for hanging out with me for so long. All right. I know that was a touchy subject. Some people agree. Some people disagree. Asia people that cross over from Mexico speak both. Robert says, I will be back shortly. Nope. Have a good one, Robert. This is the end of my show today until later this afternoon. I got to eat some breakfast, and it's very late, my friend. But thank you guys for your support. Love you all. And what's it, Dave? You love them, but you mock them. How the hell is that mocking them? Correcting them is not mocking them. That's not mocking them. No, they are wrong on a lot of the things that they think, but we still love them. That doesn't mean that I don't love them. Do you hate your children when you discipline them? My point exactly. Trinity, thanks for your help. All right, for all my new moderators, be nice. Be nice. I got to make Ken a moderator here one of these days, probably. We'll see. All right, guys, thank you so much for being with me. You all have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you guys later tonight. All right? Be blessed.